Yes, indeed, Smithson Valley has its hands full, but think about it. Don't we always have our hands full? The 4-2 Rangers are ready for the 6-0 Rockets tonight here on the Ranger Network. Good evening, everyone. I'm Tony Brubaker, and alongside me tonight is the voice of the Texas State Bobcats, Bill Culhane. And Bill, we have a chance for an offensive explosion type of game because we know the Rockets are going to score, and the Rangers have been productive offensively of late. But I think it's going to be a game decided by defense as much as offense.
Well, I want to go back to one of your original points, Tony, and it comes from Coach Hill himself. This is the kind of game you want to be in. If you're a Ranger, if you're a Rocket, this is a game you circled on the calendar a long time ago. And on my drive into Converse this evening, I couldn't help but think that across the Lone Star State, there are literally hundreds of football games that'll be played tonight. I don't know if there will be many bigger than tonight's game. And as you pointed out, there are offensive superstars on both of these teams.
You look at it, Judson and Clemens are alone in the top of the 26-6A standings at 3-0. Smithson Valley and East Central are a game back at 2-1, so this has implications of playoffs, as both teams expect to be in those playoffs. Now, who's at the top when we get done about 4 weeks from now? We're going to have an exciting pregame show for you, as well as an exciting game. We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll come back with more of the pregame conversation here on the Ranger Network.
Mom Needs a Break Cleaning is the professional service you can trust. Thorough, careful, and affordable. We take care of all your home cleaning needs so Mom can take care of the important things in life. Isn't it time you came home to a spotless house without the hours of back-breaking work? Call Mom Needs a Break Cleaning for an over-the-phone estimate and to set your personalized cleaning schedule with us today. Fisher's Neighborhood Market is teaming up with the Smithson Valley Rangers. When you stop to gas up, look for the Ranger Spirit Pump. A portion of sales from this pump will be donated directly to the SV Athletic Booster Club to help out our Rangers. So choose the one that's Ranger Blue and fill up. Fisher's Neighborhood Market is proud to sponsor the Smithson Valley Rangers.
Matt, we are excited to hear what you have come up with for the new Sage Capital Bank jingle.
You are going to love it. We think it really embodies Sage Capital Bank. Emotes class, tradition, effort. Well, just give it a listen.
Man, that's really got spirit, but isn't that
Awesome.
That's the Smith.
Best song ever.
Well, yes, it is.
Yes, nailed it. Guys, we have got ourselves a jingle. Let's do it again.
Sage Capital Bank is proud to support the Smithson Valley Rangers, and you can bank on that.
And the Judson Rockets, as we've talked about all night, are under a first-year head coach. His name is Rodney Williams. His record, 6-0 with the Rockets. It's his first year back. And did he walk into something or what, Bill? He has been around, but to be a first-year head coach with the Rockets and to get off this kind of start with a team this good.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And when you say walked in, really what he did is he changed offices.
Yes.
Referred to as Coach Will here at Converse Judson. He was the offensive coordinator under Sean McCullough, who is now the head coach at Cypress Ranch over in the greater Houston area. Coach McCullough.
Tough move.
Was the head coach for 5 seasons here with Converse Judson. And Tony, you and I know this. You and I go way back. We've been friends for 30 years or so. And during those 30 years, one thing of many things that's been common and familiar is Converse Judson's been really good at high school football. We're standing here in Rutledge Stadium.
Yeah.
J.W. Rutledge, of course, the legendary head coach here.
And 6 state championships, something like that.
You know, it's an impressive list. And just like, and that's why I was so excited about doing this game, just like Smithson Valley, when you look at the coaching staffs, the supportive administration, the players, the fan support, both of these programs have it, and then in spades. You go across the state of Texas, any nook and cranny of this state, and you bring up Smithson Valley, you bring up Converse Judson, and high school football fans, whether they're in the Panhandle, down in the Valley, doesn't matter, they know these two programs.
Judson won the toss and deferred, so they will kick off here to start the game, and we should have that kickoff here momentarily. The Rangers will go on offense, led by senior quarterback Luke Gombert. 45% his passing accuracy so far, 870 yards, 8 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. His mark so far, and again, he had a great game a week ago, 8 of 13, sharp, just 94 yards, but we ran the ball for, oh, goodness sakes, probably 300 yards, just under that at least, and the numbers look pretty good for the Rangers, averaging 425 yards a game, 35 points a game. But then you compare it to someone like Judson, who averages 50 points a game and almost 500 yards of offense a game. So it will be a game where defenses can make a difference.
Yeah, and Judson Rockets, with all the talk of their offense, their defense is pretty good as well, giving up a shade over 20 points per game. You take away the 48 they gave up against Steele, it comes out to 15.2 points per game. That's good defense.
It is. The kickoff will be fielded by Eggleston, going to the right, has a little bit of room, slows down about the 30 and then gets hustled up by a bunch of Rockets, and they kind of wrestle for a while till he's shoved out of bounds somewhere near the 34-yard line, and that's where the Rangers will start 1st and 10. Again, Gombert, Eggleston, Tietzman, Fortone the running back, and an offensive line of Smith, Muchagemba, Brooks, Benka, and Bell. Chandler Cole usually the starting tight end.
Coach Hill pointed out earlier this week that you look at Judson's defense, they don't have any flaws. They don't try to trick you.
But they can run. We've talked about this off the air. They have one guy over 250 pounds, and that's the nose tackle. Everybody else is somewhere between 170 and 210, and they are fast. 3 down linemen with 2 outside linebackers. Gombert hands it off. Looks like Eggleston will get the first handoff, and he'll wiggle right side just inside the tackle and get about 6 or 7, maybe 8 yards before he's brought down by a host of Rockets, and a good first down run by Eggleston and the Rangers.
It'll be interesting to see what Smithson Valley does in terms of the play calls tonight, because as you pointed out, Tony, defensively for the Rockets, they have a nose guard and 10 safeties out there, guys who can run. So I was always told that when you're going up against speed, you run right at them. You don't try to run away from them.
So far, that's what they did. Out of the shotgun with a running back either side. Now a flag. Someone probably moved on the offensive line. They'll huddle up. Procedure is the call, so instead of 2nd down and 2, it'll be 2nd down and 7. And we've talked about the Rangers and their 4-2 record so far. One of the biggest negatives has been their penalties, trying to avoid them, as it hasn't always been turnovers, but it's been penalties that have cost them drives.
Yeah, you want to definitely, when you're going up against a great defense, you want to stay ahead of the chains.
Without a doubt. Douglas, the receiver, down on this side as the Rangers move south to north here in the opening quarter. Gombert gives it to the backup running back, Hoskins. He gets around the right edge and looks like he has first down yardage before he's shoved out of bounds near the 45-yard line. So 2 running plays, Bill, and 2 big gains on both of them.
Well, and Greg Eggleston had an outstanding block outside on the edge that opened things up for his running back. So there Eggleston is showing his versatility. Not only can he carry the football, but he can also block for his teammates as well. That was outstanding.
Gabe Hoskins, the junior, now has over 240 yards on the season. He, and a little bit quicker than Fortone, the reason for the query around the end. Here's Fortone up the middle, gets bumped, spins away from it, does a nice job after contact before he's wrestled down by the Rockets. Donier Moody down at the bottom of the pile, along with several other Rockets. And a good tackle there. Damian Crew was also at the bottom of the pile. So another first down gain of 8 yards on the ground game.
What did I say in the opening when we talked about Fortone? Tough downhill runner. One thing I like there as well is Fortone, as he's going through the trash, going through the line of scrimmage, he has both hands on the ball, and we already talked about how big turnovers will be tonight. 2
receivers to the near sideline. Here's Eggleston going right on a handoff off tackle. Gets first down yardage before he's popped, and a good hit there. But Greg got good yardage that time, almost 6 yards, as the Rangers get their second first down of the drive that started on their own 35.
Did you see what a great job Eggleston did of putting his toe in the turf and then getting north-south? And tell you what, this is exactly what Larry Hill, if he could have kind of mapped out the first 5 or 6 plays from scrimmage apart from the penalty, exactly what he wanted.
So first down gain Here's Eggleston again, getting the bulk of the carry so far in the early going. Gets upended by the cornerback on that side, Napoleon, but not until he gets 4 yards up to the Rocket 38.
Tremendous angle there by Napoleon. It almost looked like he was shot out of a cannon as he got in on the stop, and who knows, if Eggleston gets to the sideline, it could have been adios maybe.
So 2nd and 6 from the 38. A receiver to either side, a tight end, and a slot receiver left. Eggleston the setback. Gombert gives it fake to Eggleston, rolls to his left, has a receiver on the near side, a catch made. I believe that is Freeman. No, it's Cooper Douglas, the junior, 5'7", 160, with his first catch of the night on the first pass of the night by Luke Gombert.
Yeah, and one way to get away from pressure is you can boot your quarterback, and there's a good play fake. And because Smithson Valley has had some success early in running the football, the defensive front has to honor the run look and a lot of time to throw the football, and it was definitely an accurate pass.
7th play of the drive. Rangers now 1st and 10 from the 26 of the Rockets. Everybody tight in the formation. Handoff coming left. It is Eggleston, who does a nice job avoiding the first tackler and then ends up getting a couple of yards by putting his nose down before he's shoved out of bounds. So the 2-yard gain brings us to 2nd and 8. Receivers bring the plays in most of the time for the Rangers. Again, we've seen Fortone carry it once, Eggleston several times, as both running backs are either side of Gombert here. Hand off to Fortone. Up the middle he goes. Not much there as the defense closes in. Several of the linemen stayed home that time. At the bottom of the pile is the big Nathaniel Pryor. Actually not at the bottom of the pile, but he was there along with several other of the defensive line. A gain of 1. It's 3rd and 7.
Look at Coach Hill over there. What a tremendous 3 decades he has had at the helm of the Smithson Valley program. He's been a part of a number of these matchups, the Rangers against the Rockets.
So the first big 3rd down for the Rangers. Gombert wants to throw, has a man open, and I think, I'm not sure if they're going to call that good or not, if they're going to wave it off because he lost the ball when he went out of bounds. It was Eggleston, the intended receiver, but he was not able to handle on through the end of it, or was he?
I think the ball came loose once he was past the boundary, and I look at that far.
Okay, they are going to give him a catch. I am shocked because I thought the back judge came in and waved it off, but he was just stopping the clock on the first down out of bounds. So it's 1st and goal for the Rangers on the nice pass from Gombert to Eggleston on the right corner. Now Gombert with 2 receivers left. Fortone with the carry. Bottled up, actually loses a couple of yards. Moody, the middle linebacker, among others that were there on a tackle.
Yeah, it was Alex Garcia, the linebacker, who kind of set the edge on that outside, that left side, Tony, and forced everything back inside. And, of course, that's where the posse is coming from. That was good run defense by Converse Judson on that play.
So it's 2nd and goal now from the 11. 2 receivers left, same formation as before. They're going to blitz. Gombert to throw. Has a pass to the edge. It's caught by Tietzman, I believe, at the 5. So it'll be 3rd and goal. They'll call it the 6 on a gain of 5 on the pass play.
That was just good math there by Luke Gombert. You see 7 or 8 Rockets up in the box looking to stop the run and threw an accurate pass. And I'll say this about Gombert. He comes in 44.5% completion percentage, but his first 3 throws of this football game have been on the money.
They have indeed, and as I told you, against East Central last week, especially in the second half, it seemed like he really grew up. Gombert has a tight formation, someone in motion. He'll roll to his right, looks at the end zone, nobody's open, he's going to have to get rid of it, does late over the middle. I think it was caught near the goal line. It's Douglas or Freeland. Freeland, I believe. Where are they going to mark it? And it's a touchdown is the late signal. You don't get that on the road very much, but the Rangers got the call as it was caught by Maverick Freeland right at the goal line and then spun after the hit.
Well, when Freeland, you just said it, Tony, when Freeland goes up, into the nighttime sky here in Converse and puts his paws on the football. He's shy of the goal line, but what he did is he reached back with the ball. All you have to do, everybody knows it by now, you just have to break the plane, and he did.
And then for the extra point is Joaquin Rodriguez. The kick is up and good after the hold by Gombert. Held it, and Cole was the guy who gave it to him. The Rangers are up 7-0, 7:10 to go in the first quarter. The Rangers have struck early and struck with pay dirt. A touchdown, Gombert to Freeland. We're back after this timeout on the Ranger Network.
Building links between people. Connections are real, finite, tangible experiences, ones you'll never forget. GVTC understands and delivers connections for their customers every day. I'm Luke Gombert, and GVTC has me connected.
And if you had to put a script down of what you wanted to do early, and that is march 11 plays for 66 yards and take up 7 minutes and 41 seconds of the first quarter as the Rangers will kick it off to the Rockets. It is taken back at the 2-yard line. Angling this way, but then spun around. It is Lewis who gets after a couple of spins and broken tackles up to the 26-yard line, and that's where the Rockets will start 1st and 10.
And Chandler Cole was the guy who stayed in his lane initially, was able to get a hand on the kick returner. Didn't get the tackle, won't get the stat, but was able to slow down the kick returner, and then the friends came to make the final tackle.
So again, this is one of the most dangerous offenses in the state as they have put up numbers all season long. Let's see if the Rangers, who shut down an explosive East Central offense a week ago, can do it again here tonight. Mike Chandler keeps it after a fake to Lewis, now throws it late to the sideline. I think he stepped out of bounds. There's a late flag as well. It is a completed pass for Cameron Lopez. Not real sure what the flag would be in the midfield. Usually that's some play that's holding.
Yeah, exactly right. It's right there, basically where the ball was snapped. But how about Mike Chandler?
Looks like they're talking.
It's a hold.
It is a hold. Why are they talking with Coach Williams?
He may not be happy right now.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. So you don't have to go talk to him. Just say, "Hey, Coach."
I'm just trying to analyze.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to earn my money here.
Coach, it was this number.
But what about Chandler? He already, the first play from scrimmage, on display his ability to run, his shiftiness, his ability to throw the football.
And you still have to worry about Lewis, who he faked the handoff to. Chandler wants to throw it. He lost control of the ball. It's loose. He picks it up. He's running. He's got some room on the left side and will get about 6 or 7 of those minus 10 yards on first down before he's brought down by Thomas Zoig on a good open field tackle near the Smithson Valley sideline.
When Joel Call, the offensive coordinator, drew that play up, I don't think he told Mike Chandler, I want you to dribble it a couple of times before you take off. Again, that elite athleticism for Chandler to be able to get anything out of that play.
Well, obviously it was a pass fake that the ball slipped out of his hands when he pulled it down.
It's not like that in the playbook, though, right?
No, it better not be. So with Lewis beside him, Chandler behind center, about 6 yards deep, waiting for the shotgun snap.
Should that have been an incompletion?
Since it was backwards, it would be a fumble. And I think Converse Judson has just called a timeout. Rangers up 7-0. Clock now at 5:58 in the opening frame. We'll take a timeout with them. This is the Ranger Network.
Fisher's Neighborhood Market is teaming up with the Smithson Valley Rangers. When you stop to gas up, look for the Ranger Spirit Pump. A portion of sales from this pump will be donated directly to the SB Athletic Booster Club to help out our Rangers. So choose the one that's Ranger Blue and fill up. Fisher's Neighborhood Market is proud to sponsor the Smithson Valley Rangers.
After a timeout by Judson, they're with the ball. Chandler takes it, hands it off to Lewis. Coming right, gets around first containment. Now a bunch of Rangers are there doing as good a job as they did to get Rosemont a week ago, and they bring him down. Good job. Jalen Nutt among those at the bottom of the pile as the Rangers will hurry up and get back in defensive position because the Rockets do a lot of hurry up.
D'Anthony Lewis gets the ball. You can see he's trying to pop it around outside that right corner. Cullen Betsy comes up from his safety spot, keeps it inside, right? You can't give up the sidelines to athletes like Chandler, like Lewis. You've got to keep everything inside where there's help.
So the defensive line ready to go after him as Chandler drops back. He's throwing long, looking for Bailey Davis over the top, and he overthrows him on 3rd and 12. And that'll bring up a punting situation as Bailey Davis had gotten beyond the cornerback, and coverage was not in position if the throw would have been there, and it goes incomplete.
I think Bailey Davis is one of those guys where, sideline warning against Converse Judson incidentally, but I think when you look at an elite athlete like Bailey Davis, coaches on film can say this guy is fast, but until you're down on the field and you see the dude, you don't really understand. Well, now hopefully Smithson Valley's back end, the secondary will understand that if that guy's even, he's leaving.
Just because he runs like a gazelle, and he just took 2 strides and he was in full motion going down the field.
Man, you better not blink when you're head up on that guy.
Chandler threw it early and just overthrew him. Something they work on a lot, I would bet.
Now Converse Judson personnel issues on their punt unit as the play clock is down to 7.
They're going to call another timeout, and Coach Williams is not happy with his staff to put them in this position.
Count them, Tony. How many? Is that 11 out there?
Well, the punter is Anthony Shelton. I don't know do they have 11 yet?
They do. They have 11 now, but
someone came late.
Well, he came on, and then I think there was still confusion on if there was 11, 12, or 10. And I'm not a math major. That's your department, Tony. So how about?
I cannot believe they've called 2 timeouts now in the first 10 minutes of this game.
There's a lot of football left here.
Oh, without a doubt.
Okay, but if you had told Ranger fan this is the way this game would start, I think Ranger fan would have taken it.
Oh, I don't think there'd be any doubt. Put me at the 5-minute mark of the first quarter, up 7-0, and forcing them to punt after 1 series.
And 2 timeouts gone for the Rockets.
Rangers almost get there as it's punted by Shelton. High, fielded by Livingston. And tries to avoid a few tacklers, but then gets his helmet pulled off. And we'll have to see.
Are you sure that's a face mask?
I'm not sure.
Sarcastically?
I'm not sure of anything other than his face mask is about 30 yards away from him near the Judson bench.
Boy, that's about as weird, tough, unbelievable a face mask you'll see. And the easiest call this crew will have in the 2019 season.
Well, I hope it's just one of the easy ones they have tonight, because from what we've seen officials this season, there hasn't been anything that's been extra easy for them.
Boy, and I think we need to add this.
Personal foul face mask. The ball would be spotted on the 46 of Smithson Valley after the punt return.
Fortunate Livingston's okay.
Yes, without a doubt. By the way, the punt was all of 37 yards with a return of really not much, but the 15-yard penalty gives the Rangers ball 1st and 10 at the 41 of Judson.
What did Larry Hill say on his coach's show earlier this week? He said special teams could have an impact in a game like this. When you have 2 really good teams going against each other, it's the little things.
It is the little things. Gombert now with 2 receivers left. Eggleston comes in motion. Gets the handoff going right. Guys the right edge. Breaks through a tackle. Now at the sideline and gets dragged down finally, but not till he's inside the 20-yard line, as Greg Eggleston used his elite speed to just get around the corner and beat that fast Judson defense.
On the first drive of the game, we saw Eggleston, apart from his running, he had a good block there for Tone. He's one of the guys on that outside edge, is able to lock up his man. It created the alley for Eggleston to put that right foot in the ground. And again, like he did on the first drive of the game, he got north-south in a hurry.
He actually went south-north,
but
I know what you're saying. 26 yards on the gain now for Tone up the middle. Has a nice tough run as he carries a couple of defenders about 5 yards, and I think that's the gain. It'll be 2nd down and 5.
Boy, the big fellas up front are moving furniture. The offensive lineman there, Donnie Bell, took his guy and just put him on his back. pancakes, syrup, butter. He did it all.
Eggleston comes out as a receiver comes in. Greg doing some big-time work tonight, especially carrying the football.
And blocking.
He has obviously been one of our best receivers all year long. Now we give it up the middle to Fortone. Wiggles towards the left side and doesn't get much. Gets back to the line of scrimmage for he's wrestled down. Defensive lineman DeJuan Carmichael there to help bring him down.
You also saw Damian Crew, the 170-pound junior linebacker, did a nice job of filling. One thing, you know, when you go up against Smithson Valley, defensively, you better have really good eye discipline because there's so much eye candy that Smithson Valley does offensively that, you know, as a defender, you've got to say, I've got to do my 111. I can't worry about what's going on elsewhere.
3rd and 5, Gombert with Fortone to his left, 2 receivers right. Fakes it to Fortone, rolls to his left, not much room. Gets away from the traffic, throws it to the end zone. It'll be caught by Tietzman, but he's out of bounds. He had to go high after the ball. I don't think he held on to it, but it wouldn't have mattered as he had to jump outside of the field of play to bring that one down, and that'll bring up 4th down and a field goal try.
Yeah, Tom Sitton, Converse Judson's defensive coordinator, I think there he just brings the pressure. And I think when Luke goes back and looks at it on film, he may say, man, I had the opportunity maybe there to tuck it and run. But trying to make a play.
Or again, avoiding pressure, a step quicker throw that ball and you got a chance.
That too.
Rodriguez in for a 26-yard field goal. The snap is good, the hold is down, the kick is up, and it looks good. And the Rangers have gone up on a 27-yard field goal. It's 10-0, 3:19 to go in the opening frame. When we come back, the Rangers will kick it off again here on the Ranger Network.
There's no way that that's pass interference. Look, he's making a play for the ball and there's not even any contact. That's not interference.
I don't know, Coach. It is what it is.
No way. Run that back again.
Well, Coach, maybe it was a bad call, but it sure doesn't get any better than this.
Well, actually it can.
Coach, this is awesome.
I'm glad you think so. Hey, quit spilling popcorn on the field. Touchdown.
We can joke about it all you want, but it's 10-0. Rangers on top of the Rockets. Joaquin Rodriguez will kick off for the 2nd time tonight. Lewis takes it at his 2. Comes to the far right side and breaks a couple of tackles. Now he's loose across the 30 before wrestled down by some Rangers there, including number 41, and that's Malachi Lane, a backup linebacker, who helped bring him down, but not until he got out near, where will they spot it? Well, let's wait and see where they'll spot it. 37-yard lines where they'll start 1st and 10.
And there, D'Anthony Lewis, I know it's in the kick game, the return game, but shows his balance. There were a couple of Rangers who came up 2 or 3 times, somewhat decent shots, not wrap-ups, but shots, and Lewis just kept right on trucking.
So Chandler waits for the snap. Gives it to Lewis, faked it and kept it. Has one man to beat, it's Thomas Zoig, and Thomas wraps him up, gets help from America Sanders, and the Rangers pull him down with basically no gain. Maybe lost a yard back to the 36.
Of course, Zoig had 12 tackles against East Central, but he was a man on an island going up against Mike Chandler, one of, if not the best quarterback in the greater San Antonio area, and Zoig made the stop.
He is a dual threat quarterback who has been elite all season long, leading the Rockets to a 6-0 record. He wants to throw now, has a man and overthrows Bailey Davis. Again, not really, I didn't see the throw particularly because I turned my focus to Bailey Davis, but that one fell at his feet in front of him.
Yeah, and one thing I've noticed about Mike Chandler is he, like all really good quarterbacks, he's so good in his setup, so good with his footwork, and there it almost looked like Chandler rushed it. I said in the intro, one of the things that impressed me about Mike Chandler is it looks like he has the ability to slow the game down. There, that play it sped up, and I think part of the reason the throw was way off the mark.
At least the highlights we've seen all year long, he looks like someone who really is very poised and patient. He's throwing over the top, this time looking for another receiver. It's Wilson, and it's intercepted. Great job by Cullen Betsy on the coverage as Wilson went up, but Betsy beat him to it, and the Rangers have their first turnover of the game as they're finally into plus territory on turnovers. +2 coming in, and that's one more on the good side.
Yeah, Betsy gets credited with the interception, and rightfully so. Did a nice job making a break on the ball, but it started with the pressure. Chandler's trying to get outside the pocket. You're going to see that a lot tonight, and because of the duress that he was under, Chandler throws the ball off one foot, a part of the reason it was underthrown.
So off the turnover, the Rangers have the ball again, their third possession of the night, this time in their own territory at the 25, but it's 1st and 10, and the Rangers with a 10-0 lead. They'll stay in the short passing game now as they throw it out to the right edge. It's Eggleston who makes the catch and gets first down yardage up to the 35-yard line. As that time, Eggleston took about 2 steps and stopped, and the defense was 10 yards away from him.
Yeah, I think that was miscommunication on the part of the secondary for Converse Judson. Yet Tietzman also on that side. Tietzman takes his route up the field, and it almost looked like both defensive backs reacted to him, which allowed Eggleston to just kind of hitch up and was wide open as you described, Tony.
All right, 2 backs in the backfield on 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line. Gombert'll had it off to Hoskins going right. He had room a little bit earlier in the game. This time barely gets anywhere before he gets back to the sticks. Gets thrown out of bounds almost late, but I think there's no flag going to be thrown there as they try to break it up before anything happens on the Smithson Valley bench. Hoskins will actually lose a yard back to the 34 on the first down run.
The Smithson Valley assistant coaches are up here in the press box, and they are one floor, I guess, above us, or below us, one floor below us. If they were above us, they'd be on the roof.
I think they're on this floor.
Are they on this floor? Okay. But anyway, Gombert carried out his bootleg there. I'll be curious to see if we don't see that play later.
Gombert rolls left, throws it over the top, looking for Eggleston, who had a beat on it and couldn't get to it. It goes incomplete. Coverage on the play by Xavier Spencer, the senior corner at 6'2", 180, who's had a good season himself. Eggleston just went, and they tried to throw it as Gombert got some space rolling left.
Yeah, that's a matchup there. Xavier Spencer, already 1 interception this year. He was selected for the San Antonio All-Star game to be played later this year.
So the Rangers look to the sideline. It's 3rd down and 10 from the 35.
Boy, a Rocket came across the line of scrimmage, and
he got back. Gombert rolls left, now gets pressure, and he'll be sacked. Luke did a nice job of trying to avoid the initial pressure, but by the time he focused back down the field, the defense was all over him.
I like Smithson Valley, the play call earlier in this drive, going for the deep ball, going for the home run. But one thing we talked about early in the broadcast, Tony, is staying ahead of the chains. You don't want to be 3rd down and 5+ against a defense like Converse Judson, nor do the Rockets want to be 3rd down and 5+ against this Ranger D.
Brooks, the punter, sends a decent punch toward the right sideline. It'll linger out of the bounds so no one can return it, and that's something you got to be afraid of when Karan Napoleon, one of the punt returners. So the Rockets will have the ball near their own 37-yard line, 1st and 10. We'll keep it here as they start at the 37 for the 2nd possession in a row.
Let's see if Mike Chandler has the ability to kind of settle into this game. The first 2 times the Rockets have had the football, give the Ranger defense some credit, but he's looked flustered.
A minute to go in the first quarter. Rangers up 10-0. Chandler wants to throw, has a man, but now, he does come back and throw it. It's intended for Wilson near the near sideline, and it goes incomplete. Mason Livingston on coverage. What he did that time was kind of broke containment and looked like he was going to run, and then pulls it down and throws it over the top to one of his deep receivers.
Yeah, it was Davion Wilson who was in the route. You look at the big plays in the pass game for the Rockets. Wilson had a 34-yard touchdown against San Marcos. Bailey Davis against San Marcos, a 62-yarder. At New Braunfels, a 78-yarder. So Converse Judson, they go for the deep ball, but man, I don't know, when you're down 10-0, your offense is struggling, maybe you'll just try to get your quarterback some confidence by completing some short throws.
They fake it to Lewis. Chandler keeps it, scrambles left for about 6 yards up near the 43-yard line before he's brought down by Luke Seminaro and other Rangers. So a 6-yard run brings up 3rd down and about 4.
There, Chandler shows his shiftiness, able to wiggle and turn up inside. Did you ever move like that?
Not in this lifetime. No.
Even on Xbox?
Not like that. No, sir. No, sir. 20 seconds left in the quarter. Be the last play of the quarter, likely. Chandler takes it, straight drop back, has some pressure, a middle screen for Lewis, who gets hit. No, it's not Lewis, it's the fullback, Lopez. He gets brought down. Rangers all over him that time. And that is a 3rd down stop for the Ranger defense, and that'll force a punt.
Looked like Chandler Cole, who was kind of, Coach Hill likes to say, laying in the weeds. That's something I have to believe that Smithson Valley saw on film, because it looked like that traditional screen pass was setting up perfectly, with the exception of number 8 being there.
And the Rangers force a punt, but that's the end of the first quarter. Rangers lead it 10-0 on the Ranger Network.
Control. Your ability to choose. Control gives you power to fulfill your needs and wants as you see fit. GVTC understands and delivers control for their customers every day. I'm Trey Bellew-Witcher, and GVTC gives me control.
Shelton's punt, high, kind of wobbly. Livingston fields it at the 24, breaks one tackle, gets outside on the near sideline, gets a block, now up across the 40 before he's popped out of bounds, and flags are all over the place as he was hit out of bounds. And the Rangers will get more added onto this return, which is out near the 43-yard line.
We understood this would be a hard-hitting physical football game tonight. You just hope it happens between the white lines.
He got hit inside the field of play, but then I think it was the second and third guys that hit him was well after he went out of bounds.
They're pointing in the Smithson Valley direction.
So what we have you know what? It was obviously a bad block.
Getting back to that screen pass defensively for Smithson Valley, I think we figured out it was Connor Hambrick.
Yeah,
who was in on the stop.
Let me say, though, so if that was on a bad block, the flags came in after the tackle was made, so I don't know how you see that and throw it so late. And again, it was up at the 43, and that's where he was out of bounds. I don't know. In any event, the Rangers penalized 10 yards. They'll start at their own 33. It's 1st and 10 for Gombert and the Rangers. There's an end around to Eggleston, but he has some room on the left side. He breaks a tackle. He breaks the seam. He gets through. He tiptoes on the sideline, and is he still in bounds as he's pushed out inside the 20? I don't think they've marked it. Yeah, they have at the 29, but still a big gain for the Rangers.
The Converse Judson got penetration and almost blew up the play before it got started. I've been wanting to say Chandler Cole's name all night. He got just a little bit of a chip on that defensive lineman who got into the backfield. Eggleston had to give ground, which you normally don't want to do on that kind of trick play, but Greg has that speed that he was still able to get to the boundary and a big gainer.
38 yards on the carry by Greg Eggleston. It's 1st and 10 at the Rocket 29. Gombert to Eggleston, wide open in the slot again. This pass play will go for 6 or 7 yards before he's popped and then helped up. The Rangers and the Rockets still somewhat nice to one another, as a gain of 7 makes it 2nd down and 3. That was Napoleon, among others, that popped him.
We saw that play on the previous drive where you have Keatsman outside. You've got Eggleston as the slot receiver, and I know why the Rockets don't want to press Eggleston, because they're afraid of the blow-by. Well, you're going to give up a 6-yard pass completion all night long.
Sure you will. 2 backs in the backfield. It's Eggleston, left side, not much room there, but he does wiggle ahead for a yard or 2. After a 6-yard pass play, that's a 1-yard gain. Brings up 3rd down and 3. Yes, 3rd down and 3.
Much better 3rd down and 3 than 3rd down and 8, 3rd down and 9.
It's an easier play call, isn't that for sure? 2 receivers split on the near side, a tight end to either side of the tackle.
Looks like Converse Judson going to sell out against the run here. Look at all those guys up in the box.
It goes to Fortone, who wiggles and then cuts back and doesn't have much as he's met by a host of Rockets, including the middle linebacker, Donier Moody, who stop his run at the 22, so really no gain. Brings up 4th down and 3, and I bet the Rangers are going to go for it.
Yeah, I see Eggleston coming back on the field, and looks like no hesitation on the part of head coach Larry Hill.
I don't know why there would be at this point, because you're probably not going to kick a field goal of 40-plus yards. Gombert with a play to make. Has Eggleston, now throws it to a tight end. That's Howell who catches it. We got somebody in the end zone that's wide open, but Howell caught it for first down yardage inside the 20-yard line as the Rangers move the chains. Austin Howell with his 6th reception of the season.
Luke Gombert has not been more accurate in the passing game in all of 2019, and I don't know, I'm not out of practice. I want to even say at practice. And as far as that receiver breaking free into the end zone, Tony, it is so easy to see open receivers from the 4th floor of the press box.
And I think Larry Hill's going to call a timeout here. Play clock had gone under 10, 9:11 to go in the second quarter. The Rangers up 10-0 over the Rockets. We've got a timeout on the field, and this is the Ranger Network.
Mom Needs a Break Cleaning is the professional service you can trust. Thorough, careful, and affordable. We take care of all your home cleaning needs so Mom can take care of the important things in life. Isn't it time you came home to a spotless house without the hours of back-breaking work? Call Mom Needs a Break Cleaning for an over-the-phone estimate and to set your personalized cleaning schedule with us today.
The Rangers lead it 10-0, 9:11 to go, second quarter action. This 5-play drive has been 2 passes and 3 runs. It is 1st and 10 from the 18. Gombert fakes it to Fortone, has a pass broken up by Spencer. Intended for Cooper Douglas at the goal line, but good defense makes it 2nd and 10.
Yeah, there's that Xavier Spencer, a guy we talked about earlier in the broadcast. Another one of these really good-looking athletes for Converse. Judson was able to get inside of the receiver, use that arm, not grab the receiver, right? You'll get flagged for that, but was able to poke the ball away.
So Gombert on 2nd and 10. 2 receivers to the right. Running action to Eggleston, coming left. And again, their defensive line and linebackers are making it tougher and tougher to run. This time it was several of them, including Moody, and Evante Freeman was in on it. So a gain of 1 makes it 3rd down and 9. What's the play call here on 3rd and 9? It's obviously 4-down territory. So 2 plays to get 9. Gombert, straight drop, has pressure, coming after him, and they'll sack him. Was looking to the left. It was Tietzman out there, and no one broke open, and some woofing going behind between the 2 lines now as it's now 4th and long.
Yeah, I think there, if Luke recognizes the pressure coming off the edge, maybe he gets rid of the football and tries to save some yards here for the field goal attempt, because what was it? You lose 6-7 yards. So instead of, this is going to be a 41-yarder, it would have been about, 33, 34-yard field goal attempt.
Rodriguez on the season 3 of 4 in field goal tries. Cole to Gombert to Rodriguez. It's blocked. It's loose. They have it. It's Moody running with it. Now it's not Moody. It is the defensive lineman, Darius Hughes. And the Rockets got their first big play of the game by special teams and have the ball in Ranger territory.
Yeah, Hughes, talk about a guy showing some athletic ability, scoops the ball up. And I go back to what Coach Hill said earlier this week, talking about special teams. There are going to be big plays in the special teams game. We're in the first half, Tony, and there have already been 2 or 3 big plays in special teams. And this is the first time you've sensed any kind of excitement, any kind of positive emotion from this Converse Judson crowd at Rutledge Stadium.
Midway through the second quarter, they have some energy in the stadium. Chandler to Lewis, right side, breaks a tackle, gets spun around, gets stopped as they won't let go. The man on the bottom, but he still gets 5 or 6 yards as he's a downhill runner. Looked like Seminara was down on the ground holding on as other Rangers helped put him down at the 37-yard line. Gain of 5.
Judson leads up inside with Lopez, their H-back. They already have that big offensive line, and then you lead up inside with that H-back as an additional blocker.
Here's Lewis again, bounces out, gets a nice block on the edge, breaks a tackle. There is a hold, going to bring it back. He had first down yardage to the 30, but I'm pretty sure this one's coming back.
Yeah, I saw defensively Thomas Zoig was trying to disengage. I just mentioned his name, Cameron Lopez, and it was the referee who's behind the play, had a good look at it, who threw the laundry.
Why is it when you're on the edge, the most obvious place to see it is where you want to hold somebody?
Tough for Converse Judson, of course, because this now puts them off schedule.
Indication is holding against Judson.
Fans don't like it, but
do they ever?
Do they ever is a good thing. So instead of first down yardage, is now 2nd down and 13. The ball back at the 45.
Let's write that down, Tony, because Converse Judson, they get the big play special teams with a field goal block, get a couple of good plays offensively. That can be a drive killer.
Chandler with 2 receivers to the left and 1 to the right. Keeps it after the fake, then gives it out to Wilson. Rangers are there. Zoig and Livingston stop him at about the 42, so it's a gain of 3, and it'll be 3rd and 10.
Boy, rally to the ball, right? Because Converse Judson looking to bust plays. They're looking to get the ball to their playmakers in any way they can. That's a long handoff.
Oh, without a doubt.
And so if you get 3-4 blue hats to the ball, I like your chances better than a one-on-one, even though we've already seen Zoig make a tremendous open field tackle against Chandler earlier in the game.
2 receivers to the right of the offense, 1 to the left. Chandler 3rd and 10 from the 42. Ranger defense needs to make a play. He'll drop back. He's looking long. Left side, intended for some tagging, and I think he caught it. Goodness. Anthony Shelton running down the field with Nutt, I believe. Coverage looked good, but it was a pass that was right on target, and it's a touchdown to Anthony Shelton.
When Chandler got rid of the football, Tony, I'm asking, why is he throwing into double coverage? Anthony Shelton did a nice job of using his right arm to maintain a little bit of separation against the Ranger defensive back, but Chandler just dropped that ball in perfectly.
The kick by Humberto Villarreal is good, and it's 10-7. Just like that, the Rangers see their lead cut more than half as the Rockets will come out and kick off for the 2nd time tonight after this timeout on the Ranger Network.
Community is really important to
Hey, Dad.
Yeah.
Tell them about the hygienists. They are super gentle and really nice.
I will do that. Let's do that again. Community is a really important part of Summerhill Dome.
Dad, did you tell all the kids about the awesome prize box?
I have not, but I will.
Okay.
Seriously, are we getting billed by the hour here? Here at Summerhill Dental, we not only are really good at implants, we have gentle hygienists and awesome prize boxes. We also love our community. We are your Smithson Valley dentists. Go Rangers.
And the Rockets will kick it off. We're now 10-7. Rangers on top of the Rockets. 6:16 to go, 2nd quarter action as the Rangers get their first turnover of sorts and turn it into points. Here's a pop-up kickoff. It'll be fielded at the 25 and popped and hit down in a hurry is Luis Camacho, one of the backup fullbacks. So a kickoff that's returned about 5 yards to the 30 is where the Rangers will start 1st and 10.
Momentum's a funny thing, isn't it? This stadium, at least on this home side, was dead 5 minutes ago. And then the blocked field goal. And then the big pass play. Let's see Smithson Valley on the road, hostile territory, if Smithson Valley can get some of the momentum back in this football game.
It'll be quarterback Luke Gombert that's going to have to start it here as the Rangers tight formation with 2 receivers left and 1 to the right. Now motion. They'll give it to Fortone. Wiggles up the middle, doesn't get much, gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard. Brings up 2nd down and 9.
Officials timeout now. The head linesman coming in. Somebody lose a helmet, or
that's the second time we've sent. So they sent a Ranger off on the kickoff return because of equipment, and now they send one of the Rockets off.
It was Avante Freeman, one of those defensive linemen for the Rockets.
Rangers 2nd and 9 now from the 31. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right, just like before. Same formation. Gommert to run. Gets a couple of good blocks, has time. Over the top, Tietzman. He is open, but he overthrows him. Incomplete pass makes it 3rd down and 9. That time Tietzman did a nice route of going towards the middle and then breaking it off toward the far sideline. And he was open, but the pass was not on target.
Yeah, it looked like Tietzman was going to take it to the post, and that's what kind of spun Xavier Spencer around, took him off his footwork, and you said it, arrowed it out towards the sideline. Almost a huge hookup for the Rangers. But it's there, right? I mean, if you're the play caller for Smithson Valley, you tuck that one away.
Is that Eggleston in the slot on the far side? Now they kind of inch up. They'll blitz a linebacker. They'll throw it for Tietzman on the edge. He gets popped a couple of times, but it'll be marked down at the 38. It'll be 4th down and 2 on the nice pass completion to Eric Tietzman.
Yeah, Tietzman there using his body to get inside of the defensive back, create space. It was a good throw and just a good tackle there by Converse Judson to keep the Rangers short of the line to gain.
If it's not 3rd and 8, then that's an easier pass to make. Or that, I don't know, maybe he didn't go far enough. Whatever it is, it's short. So Brooks will punt for the 2nd time tonight. The rugby-style kicker sends the end-over-end kick towards the near sideline, and it'll roll down and stopped near the 32-yard line, 33-yard line. It'll be spotted, and that's where the Judson Rockets will start 1st and 10. We'll keep it here this time as they've been quicker and quicker on their exchanges. And right now the Rockets have momentum, Bill, with 4:46 to go in the 2nd quarter. This is a big-time stop for the Rangers.
It is, because when the Rockets took over the ball the previous drive, it was that exchange of the blocked field goal, and they were obviously on the plus side of the field. But here, starting at their own 33-yard line, there's some green grass out in front of the Rockets.
2 receivers in the backfield with Chandler. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. They'll fake it to Lewis. He wants to throw. Has a man in the middle, and he throws him over the top again for Anthony Shelton. Going for the home run on 1st down and overthrows him.
Shelton had 86 yards receiving all season coming into the game, and of course he got the 42-yard touchdown pass on the previous drive, and there Shelton was able to get a yard or two, a step or two beyond the secondary of the Rangers.
And I failed to mention that was his first touchdown reception of the season and his season long, which was previously 36. They're trying to get him targeted for a matchup purpose, I guess. Here is Chandler faking the handoff, moves up the field, gets some yardage out near the 40-yard line before he's wrestled down by America Sanders. So the gain of 6 makes it 3rd down and 4.
Nice job by Jackson Senni, also shooting up from his safety spot to get in on the stop. You've got to rally to the ball against a guy like Mike Chandler.
This time he gives it to the backup running back, Brown, and he gets outside the defense and gets a nice jump before he's shoved out of bounds, but not till he's near Ranger territory. They'll spot him at the 50, and that's a 1st down. And that is Artistide Brown, a junior, 5'7", 165, 300 yards on 30 carries.
Brown spent a lot of time running laterally there along the line of scrimmage, but he showed some good ability that once he saw a running lane was able to turn up and get positive yardage.
So again, 2 backs in the backfield. They give it to Lewis coming this side. He's got some room. He breaks a tackle. Now he's outside. Now he's running downhill to the end zone, and the Rockets are going to take the lead here in the 2nd quarter with 3:45 to go. Surprised there wasn't a little bit of a flag thrown there, as that was some touting by the running back, DeAnthony Lewis.
You go back to the start of the play, and Cameron Scott, the junior offensive lineman, it started with him on his block, and there is a flag back at the 40, Tony. I don't know if that fell out of a pocket and now a hat. That's another flag.
We're going to call this one back. We are going to call this one back. The head coach of the Rockets, Rodney Williams, is out near the numbers disputing this call.
I didn't see it. I was looking back at the line trying to figure out, to include Cameron Scott's block, what happened to open up the play.
We're spending a lot of times talking with the Judson coach tonight, and now the official even has his hat off.
Well, he threw it. No, his hat didn't fall off. He's the guy who threw the initial flag. They only get one flag, Tony.
Right.
After that, they start throwing clothing. I don't know what comes after the hat.
So they're going to call holding against the Rockets. Wow, goodness.
And then what? And then the dead ball unsportsmanlike.
Yeah.
So that's 25 yards.
Well, it's, yeah, from where it was, from the 45-yard line.
So it's what, first down?
It's 20 yards.
Unsportsmanlike penalties.
Because at the 45 is 20 yards back.
It's a spot foul at the 40, so that takes it to the 50
no,
for the hold.
It was at the 45.
No, the flag was at the 40.
Okay.
Yeah, the unsportsmanlike penalties are 15 yards.
Here's what's really scary is the officials are still talking. Now that they've walked the ball back, it is back at the Judson 35. So they started at the 33 and have a bunch of yardage gained, and they're back at the 35. Who called the timeout? The officials?
Yeah.
This is an officials timeout. We'll keep it here. 3:45 to go in the half. Rockets are fixing to line up while the Rangers are still in a huddle, and they've just started the play clock. Goodness.
So basically first down and half of Bear County. Are we in Bear County?
First down and 25. Goodness.
When you thought you had a touchdown.
Yeah. Well, it's written down. Now I have to scratch it out.
Go ahead.
Chandler fakes the handoff. Now goes to an out route near side. It's Shelton. Tries to break a tackle, and he does. He gets through 3 different defenders before he's wrestled down near the 44-yard line. Several Rangers had a shot at him, and they all whiffed. He got loose into Ranger territory at the 44 on 1st and 25. It's now 2nd down and 4.
All right, tremendous job by Shelton, obviously not giving up on the play. And you've got to wrap up and tackle, right? That was an additional 11 yards on that play.
Hurry up. Chandler fakes the handoff, then gets outside, gets dragged down. Is that Zoig again?
Believe it is.
Goodness.
Second time tonight he's made a tremendous open field tackle.
He just got a hold of his jersey that time and dragged him down from behind. No gain on the play. It's 3rd and 4. Chandler fakes the handoff. Option side comes to Lewis. Has some room. Tackled. Great tackle. Mason Livingston stops the 3rd down run for a 1st down. Gives him a gain of 2 up to the 42. It'll be 4th down.
And Chandler is showing some negative emotion there after the play. I don't know who he's displeased with, but he just kind of slapped his own helmet there. That was a long option pitch, by the way. The pitch integrity was a lot farther than I'm accustomed to seeing.
Well, he didn't move very far when he turned the corner. He kind of stood there and waited for the defense to do what they're going to do. It's 4th and 2 from the 42. Rangers will go for it. Rockets will go for it, pardon me. And they'll give it to Lewis, trying to run downhill. He's wrapped up. At the bottom of that pile is Jackson Senni. The senior safety made no effort to let him get anywhere near a 1st down, and the Rockets will turn it over on down.
He had some help as well. Padilla was able to come in virtually unblocked. What a turnaround, Tony. We've had so many ebbs and flows to the emotions of this football game where Converse Judson thinks they're sending on the PAT unit, and all of a sudden, with their outstanding offensive line, can't pick up a 4th down and 2 when they're trying to drive in for what would be the go-ahead touchdown before halftime.
Rangers with the ball. Gombert to Eggleston, comes right, has some room. Finally gets shoved out of bounds and then hit kind of late, but whistles were blowing as he's near midfield. A gain of 6 to the 49. Smithson Valley with a minute 25 to go. Clock stopped as the ball went out of bounds. Rangers will have 2nd down and 4.
I'm impressed by Eggleston. He's got some oomph to him. He's got some want to in him. You know, you've been able to see Greg Eggleston all season long, Tony, and I've seen him for almost 2 quarters now, and I'm impressed.
Well, I don't know that we've seen him do some of the things he's done tonight, and that's be the bell cow of the running game. This time, a fake to Fortone. They throw it to Eggleston, and he turns and tries to run before he catches it. First mistake of the night by Greg Eggleston. He wanted that one. It's incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and 4 from the 49. Clock goes 4 seconds and stops at a minute 21. Wow.
Yeah, that's tough there. Same combination route we saw on a couple previous plays where you've got Tietzman on the outside, flanked out wide, and you sit Eggleston in as that slot receiver, and Converse Judson's not covering up that slot guy.
Not enough. 2 backs in the backfield, a receiver wide either side, and a slot near side. And we hand the ball off. This is Eggleston. He's tripped up in the backfield by Donier Moody, the junior linebacker who has 69 tackles coming in tonight. Stops the Rangers on this one with a minute 10, and the clock is stopped on a timeout by Judson, I believe. Their final timeout of the half.
And you just said it, Tony, with 70 seconds to go until halftime. Think back to those 2 early timeouts that Rodney Williams and the Rockets had to use. Now, your argument, your comeback might be, well, Bill, the Rockets have this quick strike offense. They're always in scoring position, but, you know, who knows?
My guess is they're going to sell out to block this punt since Brooks has been close both times. And he's not a conventional punter that he kind of runs and rugby styles it. So they obviously think something they can get out of it as they do want some time with the ball as they had a chance to go up 14 to 10. Now it's still 10 to 7 Rangers. Minute 12 to go, 2nd quarter, as everybody's staying in tight.
They put 2 seconds back on the clock. There's now a $1:12 to go. And the thing is, too, Tony, when you're fearful of the punt block and you go max pro on your punt unit, when you have a punt returner like Napoleon standing back, that could give him some room to get trucking. Coach Hill said earlier this week special teams would be important.
Brooks back to punt. Snap is good. The kick is good. Oh, it got blocked. Brooks will chase it down. Now he's running up the left sideline, and he'll get out of bounds just past the 40. He kicked it really low, and that's why it was blocked, because he had time to get it out and just didn't get it up in the air.
Yeah, and the Judson Rocket did a nice job of running to the spot, right? You want to dive, you want to jump out in front of the punter, not where his foot is, but where the ball is going to be coming off his foot, essentially, and that's a big momentum swing there.
So with a minute 4 to go, no timeouts, the Rockets have the ball again in Ranger territory on their 2nd blocked kick of the game. From the Ranger 42, it's 1st and 10. Chandler with 2 receivers either way. Straight pass, big rush. Now he's loose. Now he throws up the field. That's for the H-back, and it goes incomplete. Fans want interference, but I think both players had a hand on the other. Lopez, the intended receiver.
Yes to all of that, Tony, and I think also Lopez understood that the ball was underthrown, so he was kind of trying to slow down and readjust to the ball and tripped himself up a little bit as well. But I'm 4 stories up here.
Who was the coverage? Was it Cinny?
Not sure.
Okay. So 2nd and 10, 57 seconds. Chandler wants to throw, comes out. This is Lopez on the left sideline. He gets dragged down, still in bounds. It is not out of bounds. The clock continues to run. He did not get out of bounds as he was dragged down by Zoig. So the clock runs now under 40 seconds to go. It's 3rd and 2 from the 34-yard line.
And I'm not sure, situational awareness, I'm not sure if Zoig understood where the sideline was in the player, but a tremendous job.
Now Chandler wants to run, and he does. He's got 1st down yardage before a bunch of Rangers, including Carson Padilla, wrestle him down at the 26-yard line. The clock at 23 seconds stops as they move the chains. I don't know if they're going to clock it or if they're going to try to throw it up the field. Chandler clocks it right there, so 17 seconds to go. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the Rangers' 26.
At the risk of being repetitive, I think back again to Converse Judson using 2 timeouts in the first, minute or 2 of the football game.
So a couple of 8-yard plays get them a first down. They spike it for a stopping of the clock. So on 2nd and 10 from the 26, the Rockets trying to overcome the Rangers, who lead at 10-7. Chandler wants to run as a receiver out in the flat, and he overthrows him. It'll be 3rd down and 10, intended for Shelton again, who now has become, I guess, his popular receiver.
Any end of half situation, end of the first half, end of game, you want to have a timeout in your pocket for your field goal unit. And Converse Judson doesn't have that luxury. But they do have the luxury of Chandler and Shelton.
Shelton and Wilson and Bailey Davis and Lewis and Lopez and Brown, all the guys that have made plays tonight.
Yeah, I'm not getting misty-eyed for Rodney
Two
Williams.
Receivers either side. Chandler straight drop, has some pressure. There's a hold not thrown. He's scrambling now. Left side, has one man to beat. Gets a block, then gets out of bounds with 5 seconds to go near the sideline, and a block that didn't end in time either as the official stares down the defender at the ball at the 12 on the big scramble by Chandler.
And that's enough to get Converse Judson into field goal range here, and that's what Rodney Williams is going to do. 5 seconds. Maybe you could take a shot to the end zone, but too many bad things could happen to you offensively. I agree with him to try to tie the ball game up going into the locker room.
So 1st and 10 from the 12. Humberto Villarreal, their field goal kicker, 2 of 5 on the season. His longest is 36, and the Rangers will call a timeout just to ice him a little bit. This one will be from 29 yards. Again, his long this season, 36, but he's made only 2 of 5 tries.
And the ball is, I think, Tony, as you pointed out, the ball is literally on the left hash mark, so somewhat of a severe angle here. I've seen you kick field goals. It was years ago.
Long time ago.
You're a straight-on kicker.
I am. I am, like we did when I was playing back, 70 years ago.
Before the face mask and all that, leather helmets.
Leather helmets. Humberto Villarreal. He is a senior, has been kicking for a while here. 6 foot 180, number 99. The snap is high. The ball was brought down by the holder, and the kick is good. So we're tied at 10-all at the end of the first half on a field goal of 29 yards. That is successful, and it's 10-10 at halftime. Imagine that as the Rangers and the Rockets. The Rangers with the early scoring. The Rockets come back in the second quarter with a couple of scores. We'll take a brief break on the Ranger Network. We're tied 10-all at the half.
Building links between people. Connections are real, finite, tangible experiences, ones you'll never forget. GVTC understands and delivers connections for their customers every day. I'm Luke Gombert, and GVTC has me connected.
Matt, we are excited to hear what you have come up with for the new Sage Capital Bank jingle.
You are going to love it. We think it really embodies Sage Capital Bank. Emotes class, tradition, effort. Well, just give it a listen.
Man, that's really got spirit, but isn't that
awesome?
That's the Smith.
Best song ever.
Well, yes, it is.
Yes, nailed it. Guys, we have got ourselves a jingle. Let's do it again.
Sage Capital Bank is proud to support the Smithson Valley Rangers, and you can bank on that.
Welcome back to the Ranger Network. We're here at halftime, where the Rangers are tied with the Rockets 10-all in an exciting first half. We expect more in the second half. But former Ranger Josh Atkins has joined us here. He is at New Mexico State playing quarterback, which he loves to do. The team is not doing as well as we'd like to talk about, but you've had some success of late. Your last game, one of your better games, 24 of 40 with 3 touchdowns. Tell me about the experience and how you've grown, especially this season, with the Aggies.
No doubt. Just being out there playing more football, you learn a lot, you experience a lot, and you go into different situations, and that prepares you for different games and different situations. And just the more snaps that you take, the better that you get, especially at quarterback. And I really felt that this year, feel more comfortable back there and lead better. And you know, the record doesn't really reflect it, but we are getting better, and we're feeling that way.
Does your offense run the ball, or do you throw the ball better offensively? Which is the strong suit of the offense?
We throw the ball a lot more, but we try to run the ball as well. Try to do as much as both as we can. But throwing the ball is usually where we like to be. Spread the defense out, get our guys the ball, let them make people miss. That's really where we want to be.
You've talked about some struggles with the team is because of injuries, offensive linemen especially early in the year.
Yeah, you know, that's never really an excuse, but I mean, that's tough. We had like 4 drop before our first game. You know, that's tough to recover from, but you know, you just got to keep pushing, just like anything else. Any other team in America, you got to play football and you got to move on, next man up, and that's what we need to do.
All right, I know you remember the Judson Rockets because you played them for 4 years. Tell me about that last senior year. You had a very good game against them, and the Rangers had a good game.
Yeah, well, we had some bad blood. I remember junior year, they're the guys who bounced us in the quarterfinals, so we were ready to play them senior year. And we came out, we were bouncing on all cylinders, and we really had a great game. I think we blew them out, and it was a fun night, definitely.
Tell me, who were the playmakers on that Ranger team that made the difference?
You know, I think collectively as a Ranger team, you know, everybody just does their job. If I had to point out a few, I'd say Josh Dillon, one of my best friends since I was a kid. He could always make people miss. And then you got people like Jack Gibbons on the defensive side, who's really just the quarterback on defense and smart guy. All those guys, you know, as I said earlier, Smithson Valley is just a team of selfless individuals, and you're always ready to step up to the plate.
They are selfless. We've seen it this year with guys who've moved from offense to defense or defense to offense to be difference makers. You mentioned Jack Gibbons. He was a linebacker forever, and then his last year he played defensive line because that's where the need was.
Yes, sir. I mean, there's just guys that will do anything to win, you know, and that's a special thing about Smithson Valley football and the coaching staff and the community, everything. It's a lovely place, and it's blessed. I was blessed to play there, and anybody that plays here is blessed to do it.
Tell me what you've seen of tonight's game.
Oh, it's fun. You know, they're flying around, they're playing hard, a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm, and you love to see that. You know, brings back a lot of memories, and it's a lot of fun.
All right, Josh, thanks for stopping by. We're at halftime. The Rangers and the Rockets tied at 10. Josh Atkins, our special guest. Thanks to him, and we'll be back after this timeout with more of the second half.
Thank you.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Comal Independent School District, HEB, GVTC, Wick Productions, Ferris Orthodontics, Summerhill Dental, Smoky Moe's Barbecue, and Pizza Hut.
Here at Rutledge Stadium, the Rockets will receive the second half kickoff from Rodriguez. And up the middle, it's the running back, D'Angelo Lewis, who encounters some Rangers just past the 30, so his run back is about 30-some yards. And the Judson Rockets will have first offensive possession from their own 33, 1st and 10. And Bill, we're back ready for some more football, but this is an exciting second half that we have talked about off the air, as we hope is as exciting as the first half was.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I think for Larry Hill, his talking points still apply, where when Judson has the ball offensively, you've got to eliminate the home run play. You've got to make the Rockets earn each and everything they get when they have the ball.
2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Rockets moving south to north here at Rutledge Stadium. And there's Chandler breaking some tackles and breaks another one. Now he's up in the loose. The 50, the 40, the 30, the 20. One man to beat, and he's into the end zone. The first touchdown of the second half is scored by the Judson Rockets on first down and 10. A 67-yard touchdown run by Mike Chandler on the yard, his 8th touchdown of the year.
Couple of opportunities there for the Rangers to make tackles, but Chandler, along with his speed, along with his quickness, he clearly has strength as well and was able to stay upright. And once he gets into the open field, he's a tough guy to run down.
Villarreal on for the extra point. The snap, the hold, the kick, all good. It's 17-10. 21 seconds into the second half. The Rockets have an early lead, 17-10, their first lead of the game. And we've just started the second half, one play into it. The Rangers will get the ball on a kickoff. We'll keep it here as I'm sure they're going to move quickly into this. Again, those other scores will update you throughout the second half. Steele winning at home over New Braunfels by 2 scores. East Central winning at home over the Cougars by a touchdown. And the Clemens Buffaloes winning on the road at San Marcos 24-10. All games getting ready to go into the second half as we are.
We haven't talked about it yet, Tony, and there's still a lot of football to be played, a few weeks left in the regular season, but Judson Schertz Clemens, that's the final game of the regular season. How big does that one shape up to be?
It's huge if the Rockets can hang on and even with one loss go into that game. Right. If the Clemens can go undefeated, then it's for everything in the district and the number 1 seed coming out.
And you know Converse Judson would dearly love to miss Lake Travis.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Villarreal's kickoff is short and kind of popped up. Fielded again by Camacho, and he's tackled as soon as he catches it right near the 23-yard line as the Rockets' coverage on the pop-up type kickoff is good. So the Rangers will start 1st and 10 from their own 32. It's certainly nice to see, be nice to see like a 68-yard run here for the Rangers, though I would almost prefer a 68-play, 10-play drive that took up about half of this third quarter.
Well, that's what Smithson Valley did early on in the ball game, isn't it? Where the Rangers were able to matriculate the ball down the football field, put together drives, take time off the clock, and I think it still applies for Smithson Valley here in the second half.
My eyesight not real good. We're actually at the 22, so it would be a much longer drive, like a 78-yard drive. And here's a good start to it. Eggleston around the left edge. Gets around the corner, gets in between a couple of defenders, and squirts ahead near the 40-yard line. They'll mark him down at the 39, so a nice 17-yard run to start the third quarter for the Rangers.
Saw Eggleston do that back in the first quarter, in particular against this very good Converse Judson Rocket defense.
Most of his runs in the first half were to the right. This one came to the left, so a little different as the Rangers send 2 receivers to the left. Now a wide receiver sweep to Eggleston, spins away from one tackler, and then fumbles the ball as it goes near the sideline. Did the Rockets get it in time? The referees say they did. Eggleston went down. No replay to see if the ball came out early, as I was unaware of really where that came out, but it is a fumble, and the Rockets have it 1st and 10 from the Ranger 48.
Greg's trying to make a play there for his team, right? And the Rockets had a number of guys get to the ball, so you know there was a lot of ripping and stripping going on. But I'll say this, the Rocket, I didn't get a number. He came flying by down below us, but the Rocket who recovered the fumble, it was an outstanding job of securing the ball before it went over the near sideline.
So 1st and 10 from the Ranger 48. The Rockets with a touchdown lead now, 17-10. Have the ball back in a hurry. Chandler wants to throw, squirts away a couple of defenders, throws it high, arching. We have a better beat on it, and we'll intercept it inside the 10-yard line. I think that's Betsy, but they're a long ways away right now.
I believe you're right, Tony. His second interception of the night, it is. And it almost, Chandler put so much air under that ball, it almost looked like Betsy was going back to field a punt. The intended receiver, no surprise here, was Bailey Davis, but I know that's one that Mike Chandler would like to have back. He was just throwing it up, hoping that his guy, Bailey Davis, would be able to make a play, and he never got to the football.
You mentioned Chandler avoided the pass rush there and kind of squirted ahead between a couple of guys and just kind of lofted it. Yeah, just heaved it. So the Rangers inside their own 10. They'll run it out with Fortone on first, and he'll get a couple of yards. Drive started at the 6. This one's out to the 8, so a 2-yard gain. Makes it 2nd down and 8.
Now, if the Rangers don't get a couple of first downs here, that interception thrown by Chandler could turn into a de facto punt.
Yeah.
Pinning the Rangers deep in their own territory.
Talked all night about drives and first downs. The Rangers had an 11-play drive early on, then put together another drive But this one is almost a must, at least a couple of first downs to get you out of danger. Gombert takes the snap, fakes it to Eggleston, rolls to his right, has a man open, and that's dropped. Cooper Douglas, the intended receiver, the ball went through his hands, and it's incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and 8.
Coach Hill earlier this week talking about going up against Judson, and when opportunities arise, you better be ready to seize them, and that includes catching balls when you're open. It was a good reverse pivot there by Gombert to kind of move the pocket on the rollout.
And it was for first down yardage. Yeah. It was a first down and would have been able to move the chains. So now 3rd and long for the Rangers. Rockets send 4. Gombert wants to pass, throws a high arching pass to Eggleston, who gets bumped. He can't catch it. The ball's near the sideline. I don't know if I would term it uncatchable, but in any event, he got shoved right as the ball was coming down into his hands, and the flag was thrown, and that would be pass interference.
Yeah, one of the Judson coaches down on the sideline, Tony, I don't know if you saw it, needs to be careful there, a little demonstrative in voicing his displeasure.
The field judge threw the flag, and I think it's justified because that ball's right there on the sideline. How do you know he's not going to be able to catch it and bring it in? Rodney Williams is all over these officials all night long and having another face-to-face discussion with the official. It'll be a first down by penalty.
Isn't uncatchable ball one of your favorite things to hear?
No.
How big is that play, though? It's 3rd down and 8. The Rockets think they've got the incompletion. Instead, there's one of those first downs you talked about.
But there is no doubt that was pass interference.
It was.
They just think there's no way it's going to be caught. And, yes, they'll get out on downs. Here's Fortone, has some room off left tackle, and then carries a defender past first down yardage. He'll get up to the 34, and that'll be good enough for a first down before he's shoved back by a host of Rockets. But Jacob Fortone with a nice first down run.
Boy, and did you see Fortone? It wasn't just anybody who he was able to avoid. That was Xavier Spencer, the safety who stepped up, looked like he'd be able to make a play, and Fortone said, "See you later, alligator."
Fortone and a little bit of wiggle.
That was wiggle and waggle, Tony. Can I correct you there?
The senior at 5'6" and 180. Near 700 yards this season, about 5.5 a carry, 9 touchdowns to his credit, and I think we moved.
Yeah, it looked like interior of the old line there.
So that'll be 5 yards. To the negative.
Penalty against the Rangers. Illegal procedure. 5 yards, moves it back to the 34-yard, 29-yard line. Repeat first down.
So now from the 29, it's 1st and 15, and again, you've talked all night long about the speed of their defense, and you don't want to get behind the chains. 1st and 15 is not unachievable, but it just makes it hard.
It sure does. But I'd rather it be 1st down and 15 than 3rd down and 15.
Amen to that. We'll fake it to Fortone, throw it out to the edge. It's Eggleston in the slot, receiver slot. That's double yeah, say that a couple of times. He gets about 5 or 6, maybe 7 yards to the 36 before he's wrestled down by a couple of defenders. Mizell Miller, one of them.
Mizell Miller listed
2nd and 8.
I'm sorry, partner. Mizell Miller listed as a sophomore running back, and it was a nice job of tackling a very good football player in space. I almost get the sense, going back to the first half, that 6-yard pass to Eggleston is going to be there all night.
It has been so far. Here's Fortone, avoids a couple of tacklers. Only gets about 4 yards up to the 40, but it was a tough 4 yards. Brings up 2nd down and, or 3rd down, pardon me. I guess about 4.
Yeah, good job there by the Rockets defensively to close on that thing, because as you described, it looked like Fortone would be able to bounce that thing out to the left, and there it was and there it wasn't. So they shut it down.
So the Rangers come out on a big 3rd down and 4.
There's Eggleston in the slot.
2 receivers to the right. Eggleston's in that slot. This time he runs up the field, runs a little corner route, and catches it inside the 45-yard line of the Rockets. That's good enough for first down as we're playing Canadian football tonight.
I was going to say, welcome to Montreal. But what a pass, though, because
goodness.
The Rockets had that play bracketed. where you have one guy on top of it, one underneath it, and basically Gombert had to airdrop that ball in, and Eggleston, as he caught the ball, made sure that he was able to get a foot down.
So again, just about a 14 or 15-yard out route, and you mentioned Gombert has been effective tonight with the pass. He's been on target almost every throw tonight. This time it's Eggleston running left on a wide sweep handoff. Eggleston gets to the edge, and I am amazed, and that's a late push out of bounds, and I got to believe there's a flag, and there it is. He had hit the sticks, which are 3 feet out of bounds, and then he got shoved. And that has to be a flag.
It is.
And after a gain of almost 10 yards, Greg Eggleston will see more added to it.
Well, remember what I said back in the first half, and you and I played this game, Tony, and I know it's a tough physical game, but remember what I said in the first half. If you're going to be a tough dude, do it between the white lines.
Please and yes, sir. See where they'll spot it. Ball should be near the 15-yard line after this one's walked off.
Personal foul called against the Rockets.
I'm shocked that fans are arguing about this, because that one, again, he hit the sticks, the yard markers, before he was shoved down. So we'll call it a 10-yard run and then 15 yards on the penalty.
Yeah, and you have the play in front of you, meaning you have a good look at it.
Yeah.
These guys have been playing football for a long time, all 22 on the field. You can anticipate things. Eggleston was going out of bounds.
So 1st and 10 from the 15 in Rocket territory. Here's Fortone going left edge. Doesn't get much. Gets about a yard as the defense was there with him. It'll be 2nd and 9 as the Rocket defenders continue to be effective when you don't get all the way to the corner.
Yeah, exactly right. Nice job setting the edge that time by Converse Judson defensively. And I've been watching Luke Gombert, as you know, all night run that bootleg action. And Converse Judson doing a much better job, it appears, as covering that up.
Fortone to the left of Gombert. A receiver wide but close in either side. Fortone up the middle, wiggles a little bit to the left and gets a couple more yards, maybe 3, maybe 2 yards. So it's 3rd down and a long 7 after a couple of short runs by Jacob Fortone. Ball at the 12-yard line.
Eggleston coming back into the offensive huddle. Now, Tony, you know this. Now the field compresses. So the speed and quickness that Converse Judson has on the defensive side of the ball gets magnified even more.
Eggleston in the slot to the right. Gombert handles the snap, looking over the middle, throws it over the top of his tight end Chandler Cole. There's no flag on the play, as there shouldn't be. The ball just too tall, and I believe we'll have to send the field goal unit in.
Yeah, and there was a blitz coming. Converse Judson brought a guy on the edge, so Luke had 2 choices there. Either get rid of the football, try to get your receiver to make a great play, or take the sack. He made the wise choice.
But my only question was he kind of locked on that receiver to the left, his tight end, the whole way, and didn't see anything on the right side. In any event, Joaquin Rodriguez in for the field goal try after one in the first half. Here's a try in the second half to the same end, and it is up and it is good, and the Rangers have cut the deficit to 4. It is 17-13 with 6:35 to go in the third quarter. There's timeout on the field here on the Ranger Network.
3, 2, 1, here we go. Welcome to our NASCAR Race Hub.
From the green flag at Daytona to the checkers of Homestead.
In the car,
that close might get you on Race Hub.
Under the hood and hanging with the drivers.
A little love fest here. Gordon, Harvick, Canal, and of course the champ.
We've got the drama.
Get the heck out of the way.
The science.
2 levels of analysis and storytelling for the sport.
NASCAR Race Hub. Weeknights at 6 Eastern on FS1 and the Fox Sports app.
The drive was 10 plays. It covered 82 yards. Results a 29-yard field goal by Joaquin Rodriguez, and makes the score Judson 17, the Rangers 13. About 6:35 to go in the third quarter. So a nice drive, again, 10 plays. Took up, 82 yards. So they went from their own 6. So that was a lengthy drive that took off some time, and that's the way the Rangers have to keep doing it. Now a defensive stop is important. Here's a pop-up kick by Rodriguez. It'll be fielded about the 16, and the Rangers coverage team is good as they limit them to a 4-yard return, and that's Bailey Davis, who was up on the second row of return coverage.
I know there's a long way to go here, Tony, 18 and a half minutes or so unless we go to extras, but I sense that this is a big drive defensively for Smithson Valley. Do you agree to show Converse Judson's offense that, hey, we can stop you as we did for a majority of the first half?
Yeah, they have to limit them and to keep him off the scoreboard, and my thought right now, without fear of losing control.
It's been 2 big plays.
Lewis got some momentum as he got to the line and kind of spun before he was wrestled down. Livingston also down at the bottom. Well, America Sanders was in there for the tackle. So give him a gain of 5 out to the, a 4 to the 29. Second down and 6.
A 42-yard pass and a 67-yard run represents the Rockets' 2 touchdowns tonight.
Chandler fakes to Lewis, keeps it himself. Gets upfield, or he's brought down by Trey Moore, but give him a gain of 4 more to the 28. It is 3rd down and 2.
Trey Moore, 5 tackles at TFL, a quarterback kid against the Hornets of East Central last time out. Real good-looking defensive lineman, very active, good with his hands.
Wants to go college and study marine biology. He's a lover of animals. I'd like to see him play like an animal here and get a tackle. This is Lewis running downhill again, and he breaks another tackle. One man chasing. It is Thomas Zoig who will bring him down by the back of his jersey. Lewis comes up barking and talking a lot, but he'll have first down yardage deep into Ranger territory.
It almost looked to me like at the snap, the Rangers slid, their defensive line shifted them, and that helped set up that left edge for Converse Judson, and Lewis had a lead blocker when he really didn't need one.
47 yards on the run.
Did you see the shift before the snap?
I saw something, but here's the backup tailback Brown going right side, stuffed.
It's Moore again.
Is it Moore or Seminaro?
96.
Yeah, Seminaro, I think, is the one that got to him. Thomas Zoig was there to clean it up. But what is that, a loss of 3 back to the 23. So for at least a moment, the drive is slowed. 2nd down and 13 from the 23. The Rockets up by 4, 17-13 on the move. They'll fake the handoff. Now Chandler has Shelton open on a post route against Nutt and underthrows him by 5, 6, 7 yards.
Boy, no doubt, and I'm going to say this, as I watched the line play there, Converse Judson's offensive line did a nice job of setting up the pass protection, and Chandler was just off the mark. And on my point there, Tony, I don't know if you've noticed the size disparity between the Rockets O-line and Smithson Valley's D-line.
What, just because they have us by 40, 50 pounds a man? Yeah, I've seen that. Lewis comes to the sideline. Chandler wants to throw it, finally does to Lewis. Against 2 he'll go, and he avoids some. He's going back across the side of the field. He's got some blockers. He gets a couple of flags thrown. That'll be holding against the Rockets, and the offensive lineman who's guilty of it is now throwing a fit. Goodness.
And a coach for the Rockets just threw his hat.
Well, that's, when you run out of flags, you throw your hat, right?
Not if you're a coach, though, right? You're trying to show these kids how to act on the sideline. But get back to the play. What a play by Lewis. I mean, right?
He's got Livingston there and another defender, and it's 1-on-2, and he just reverses field and goes to the other side of the field and gets some room. He was tackled before, not too far, but
still.
It was a remarkable play, but there was a flag as he circled around about the 30-yard line.
Yeah, Rockets have had trouble.
See what the call is, yeah.
They've had trouble with the flags, haven't they? Saw a touchdown get brought back due to a flag.
Personal foul against the Rockets. From the 30, that's what?
It was a blindside block, which I think they're signaling that as a personal foul.
So it's a 15-yard mark off back to the 46-yard line. The line to go is the 10.
That's what happens when you get players like Lewis did there, reversing their field, where you have defenders. At times you can't have your head on a swivel all the time, and then an offensive lineman, whoever, tries to pick a guy off, and they're trying to get that out of the game due to player safety, obviously.
So really about a 23-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage. It's back at the 46. Chandler wants to throw. Has men running down the field. On the sideline, it's his H-back Lopez, who can't get to it as he overthrows him by a couple of yards. And it's now 4th down and 36.
Remember what I said back in the first half about a receiver running free? Anthony Shelton was running down the left seam, and you saw him.
Yeah.
But, again, it's so easy right up here. I've got binoculars, my glasses, I've got my phone. Easy to see open receivers, and Chandler will see that in film. And
well, my guess, and this is a bold statement, is the punter finally makes it out onto the field as the play clock goes under
Shelton.
10. It is Shelton, yes, and he was the one down in the end zone, yes, on the pass play they didn't throw to him. So Shelton will punt from midfield, high spiraling punt, and the punt returner, Mason Livingston, tried to catch it but was run into by a couple of players, including one of his own. The ball down at the 21, and that's where it will be marked down. So the punt is 25 yards.
I think the officials there are simply going to rule that the Converse Judson Rocket was being blocked into the punt returner. So you can't fault him for that.
Well, you can, but they're not going to.
They can fault him, but they're not going to throw a flag.
So the Rangers now with an important defensive stop. 3:49 on the third quarter clock. Have a big drive here to go get some points. First handoff is to Eggleston, pardon me. He'll get just a couple of yards off the left side. He was tripped up, really didn't have a whole lot of room as there wasn't a whole lot of line surge that time. And now there's timeout on the field.
It was Avante Freeman, by the way, who got down and basically made the tackle from his knees. A nice play defensively.
The gain is 1. Who got hurt?
It looks like a Ranger will be able to go
offensive
off
lineman,
go off under his own power there. That's great to see. It's been a physical, hard-hitting, tough football game, as everyone would have predicted.
Couldn't see. Was that Benka?
Was it number 63?
Yeah, Benka. Ryan Benka.
Eggleston goes off. He won't be off for very long.
So the Rangers have a 2nd down and 9 from the 22. And the Rangers will call a timeout.
Play clock was down to 5.
Which happens.
Did they reset the play clock as the play?
I think he started it from 25 after the stoppage. Okay. It went to 25 and he started the clock. And I think we were methodical in getting into formation and got caught. So the first timeout of the second half is called by the Rangers, who have the ball. They're down 17-13, 3:37 to go. Third quarter action from Rutledge Stadium, Judson ISD. The winds have been negligent tonight, which is the first game this year I remember not having a serious wind advantage or disadvantage for somebody.
Tony, we talked about some of the history with these programs earlier. Converse, Judson, 6 state championships. Only 7 other schools that play 11-man football have won more in the state of Texas. A state record 42 consecutive winning seasons for Converse, Judson, and of course for Smithson Valley. You look at all the greatness, 230 to 53 overall record since 1997. Won 11-plus games 16 times for the Rangers, 3 straight finals, 6 state semi-games. A lot of great football here at Rutledge Stadium tonight.
Rangers back on offense. Gombert's thrown across the middle, has a man, and he overthrows him. Cooper Douglas, the intended receiver.
There defensively was Napoleon. He's an outstanding corner. I've been watching that guy tonight. Gombert would have had to have thrown that ball perfectly because Napoleon was right in the hip of Douglas, the intended receiver.
Other scores: Steele over New Braunfels 28-7, fourth quarter. East Central winning big, Clemens winning big. Right here, the only close game in the district. Gombert rolls to his left, has a throw up in the air. This one intended for, but not close, as he had to throw it in a hurry. It looked like Eggleston was running not really a skinny post, but kind of a skinny post, and he threw it back over his head, and the Rangers will have to punt because it's fourth down.
You went through some of those scores, Tony, and in preparation for the game, I looked at 26-6A, 8 teams in the district. The records of the top 6 teams in the district when it combined 15-3 in non-district play. That's pretty good. That tells you about the quality in 26-6A. Now, of course, New Braunfels, Canyon, and San Marcos, they have some work to do.
Brooks punt, end over end. Will go out of bounds at about the 45-yard line.
Defensive coordinator Tom Sitton for Converse Judson has to feel good about the work that his Rockets defense did on that drive, because the Rangers were coming off the field goal drive, a 4-point ball game, and still Judson able to shut down Smithson Valley on that drive.
33-yard punt, no return. Rockets have the ball on their own 45, first and 10. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Chandler will give it to Lewis, tries to follow his blocks, not much there. He does get up after looking like he was down, and everybody jumps on his back. Looked like it was Zoig was down near the bottom of that pile. He was dragging. Looked like he was going down and just found enough strength to keep it going. He gets, are they gonna mark him down back there? So call it just a 3-yard run. I'm surprised because he fell down near the 50-yard line. In any event, 2nd and 7 for the Rockets. Chandler asking his coaches to hurry up. Play clock at 15, so no hurry there. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, gets some blocks going left. Has one man to beat, gets around Nutt. Now pursuit from Livingston will chase him out of the bounds inside the 30-yard line. 28's where they'll spot it. Another big run for the Rockets.
You know, Jalen Nutt doesn't make the tackle there, Tony, but by maintaining outside leverage, at least what he did there, Nutt, is he forced Chandler back inside where at least there's a chance that the help can come over and make the play. Because if he gives up the sideline, if he gives up his outside shoulder, it's see you later.
No doubt about it. 25 yards on that carry by Chandler, who sends 2 receivers right and 1 to the left. Fakes it to Lewis, keeps it himself. Now he's the offensive weapon. Finally dragged down, but not until he has a first down by Carson Padilla. But another first down run by Chandler, and he's just looking like the elusive runner that he is.
Yeah, looking like a point guard, isn't he, where he's distributing the basketball, where at times he takes the shot, meaning he keeps it and runs with it.
2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Lewis the setback beside him. Now he throws it out in the open. A nice catch, but not much doing as the defense is there. That's Davian Wilson, who hasn't caught a ball since the opening. Hadn't even been a target since the opening quarter. The gain is about 3 to the 20, but the Rangers defense did a good job there.
Yeah, it included Mason Livingston, who stepped up and was able to break down, get a shoulder at least in on the receiver Wilson, and then again help came.
2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Chandler looking left for Shelton, who doesn't catch it. Ball down around his knees inside the 5-yard line, but he doesn't hang on. It'll be incomplete in third down, and 7.
Coming into the game tonight, Chandler was a 67% or so completion percentage quarterback, and I think you have to give Smithson Valley's defense some credit there in terms of disrupting things for him, but also I've seen him be a little loose with his footwork tonight, not stepping into his throws, not being up, tall on his toes.
Minute 31 to go in the third quarter. Judson up by 4. Chandler fakes it, keeps it, runs up the middle, and he's near a first down as he's inside the 10, near the 5. Good job defensively by the Rangers, but not until he got good yardage.
Chandler gets up, kind of flexing his right arm a little bit. That's always the risk you run. You know, you and I see it, Tony, on Saturdays with college quarterbacks and even the NFL now, where quarterbacks are running so much with the ball. It's a risk you take. Your quarterback getting hit so much.
America Sanders was in on the tackle of Chandler there. First down yardage. First and goal from the 7. Chandler gives it to Brown, who goes up the middle, gets about 4 or 5 inside the 5 to the 4-yard line. So a gain of 3 actually brings up second and goal from the 4. Hardeside Brown, the junior running back, now in the backfield with Lewis. Chandler takes the snap, gives it to Brown, but he's wrestled to the ground and thrown to the ground. A great job defensively by Trey Witcher. We haven't called his name a bunch tonight, but that was a big one as he gets the stop and wrestles him back to the 9 is where they'll spot it, where it'll be 3rd down and goal.
Not a good read there by Chandler, who's been so good as that basketball point guard I kind of described him as. And that's the final play of the 3rd quarter. Tony, you better tighten up your belt and grab your crash helmet. I think this 4th quarter is going to be outstanding.
So the Rockets have 3rd down and goal from the 9-yard line of the Rangers. They lead at 17-13. 4th quarter to come after this timeout on the Ranger Network.
Summerhill Dental, how may I help you? Let me get someone who can help you. There's a phone call for cleaning on line 2.
I'll get Melanie on the phone. Line 2 for you.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Melanie. Yes, we do deep cleanings and mouth guards. Of course we do implants. We actually make them here in-house. I can get Dr. Bayless to talk to you about it. Don't forget to point your toe.
Thank you. Summerhill Dental. We are your Smithson Valley dentist.
Ranger defense being asked to call and do it again. Chandler wants to throw, has a wheel route out of the backfield. Now he's chasing the backfield by Zoig, who brings him down by the shirt tail. The quarterback sack makes it 4th and forever from the 29-yard line, and the Rangers avoid a bullet there as he had Lewis coming out of the backfield on the right side on a wheel route, and I thought for sure that's where they were going.
Well, in a 4-point game, Tony, let's not forget about this. What was obvious field goal range because of the huge loss. Now you're not in field goal range if you're Rodney Williams, Coach Will of Converse Judson. And Zoig, I think Zoig has been watching Chandler use that spin move so much tonight that he kind of had it in his back of his mind that Chandler was getting ready to spin. He did, and he was spun down.
So 4th and goal from the 29. And the Rockets will call a timeout. 11-13 to go in the 4th quarter. We'll take it with them. The Rockets lead it by 4 and have the ball at the Ranger 29 on 4th down. Back after this timeout on the Ranger Network.
Control. Your ability to choose. Control gives you power to fulfill your needs and wants as you see fit. GVTC understands and delivers control for their customers every day. I'm Trey Bellew-Witcher, and GVTC gives me control.
Well, the Judson Rockets lead at 17-13, opening seconds of the 4th quarter. The Rockets had it 1st and goal from the 7. They're now 4th and goal from the 29.
Don't know that I've ever seen this, Tony. 4th and goal from the 29.
3 receivers to the right, 2 of them stacked, 1 to the left. Chandler wants to throw, has some guys open. Zone coverage by the Rangers. Now he's broke loose. He's passing. There's a flag. He'll try to run it and be shoved out of bounds. There's almost a late hit there. Contact started in play and then went out of play. Chandler goes down, and there is a flag, but he doesn't make it. So do you decline it rather than give him another chance?
Trey Witcher was the guy being held incidentally. But to answer your question, Tony, I didn't answer your question. I take the football.
I would take the football in a heartbeat, yeah, and I think that's what the Rangers are going to do.
When you've got Chandler, Bailey Davis, even though we haven't heard from him in a while, and Lewis, I've seen crazy things happen.
Yeah. Holding against the Rockets is declined by the Rangers, who will have it 1st and 10 from their own, let's say, 21. They haven't put the ball down yet.
Can I make another confession? There is a part of me that would love to see a play 4th and goal from the 39 or wherever it would have been.
Yes.
To write in your baby book.
So the Rangers have it 1st and 10 from their own 21. Offense out to, let's see if we can make something happen. Tietzman comes wide left. A couple of receivers to the right. Officials are trying to get into place as they're a little slow after the changeover on downs. Gombert takes the shotgun snap. Gives it to Eggleston going right. Tries to knife through a couple of defenders and does. Nice tackle as he's been doing all night long by Donier Moody. There is a flag on the play. It's just past the line of scrimmage where you might see a face mask on the tackle or don't know what it is. But we'll wait for the referee to mosey his way down here. Is that a personal foul?
Hands to the face?
Hands to the face, yeah, that's what it looked like at the end. So the 10-yard markup takes it back to the 10-yard line, so in essence an 11-yard penalty. Haven't seen many of those. But our umpires this season have had a hard time counting all year long. The Rangers are 1st and long, 1st and 21. Gombert has a setback beside him, 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Moving south to north on the football field. Here's a home run pass for Eggleston. It's long enough, and it's broke up at the last minute. Great job by Mizell Miller, the sophomore defensive back. And now they go and get in his face, unsportsmanlike, as they've been doing it all night long. But as Eggleston got up, they went and started woofing at him because he did make a great play. Miller made a great play to knock the pass away. But why they have to be talkers like this, I don't understand. And their coaching staff is clear out beyond the numbers arguing this call.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to win the argument, Tony, for everything that you said. Because we talk about how player safety has been such a priority in football now as it has been. Well, also the idea, the plan to get rid of the funny stuff like we just saw. There's a point of emphasis with that as well. This is nothing new.
And there's absolutely, you made a great play. Go celebrate with your teammates and go back to the huddle. There is no reason to get in Greg Eggleston's face.
And this isn't something that started on October 18th, 2019.
No. And it didn't start here in the 4th quarter with 10:38 to go either. It's been going on all night.
I mean, they're waving the flag off.
Oh, my goodness.
So how do officials get together and decide that, your objective view of the play, if you're the back judge, I don't know how you pick up that flag.
I don't understand that at all. And I'm not real sure who talked him out of it.
Well, it was the white hat who came over, and the white hat during the play is behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah,
but
hey.
He told his back judge that, hey, I had better look at it than you did.
Gombert will roll out of it, and it's Eggleston. Coming left side. Good yardage. Yanked out of bounds. Good job by the defense, Xavier Spencer. But not until Eggleston gets a nice run of almost 17 yards out to the 27-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 5.
Misdirection, trying to have Converse Judson use their speed against them. Luke Gombert, the quarterback, was actually one of the lead blockers.
Yeah, he was
who got out front. This would be huge if Smithson Valley could somehow come back and get a first down out of this.
First down would be humongous. Ball's at the 27. They need to get to the 31. So 3rd and 4. Gombert wants to pass, has a rush, has a blitz intended for Howell, tipped and intercepted. Up with the ball is Anthony Payne. He's brought down just inside the 30-yard line by offensive lineman Taylor Brooks. But on a tip, the Rockets come up with a turnover. Gombert looking for Austin Howell. Went through his hands, went off a defender, and then it brought down by Payne.
Payne's been he's gotten the reputation of a playmaker. Had a 13-yard fumble recovery for a touchdown against the San Marcos Rattlers in district play. And that's exactly why you're taught as a football player to always run to the ball, because you never know what's going to happen. If Payne spectates, he never gets there for the pick.
This sophomore, 6'1", 185, has 65 tackles, 3 for loss, 1 sack, 8 hurries, 2 interceptions now, 2 pass breakups, 1 caused fumble, and 5 fumbles recovered on the season. He does know how to get to the ball.
Well, and you forgot one thing, a partridge in a pear tree.
Oh, goodness. So the
else.
Rangers defense is now going to be asked to make some – oh, did we get a penalty at the end of that? Unsportsmanlike – they called unsportsmanlike contact against the Rangers. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? After what we just had a flag picked up, now the Rangers called for unsportsmanlike conduct by this officiating crew, and that is unbelievable. I don't know what happened there. It may have been fully true, but how do you pick up the other one and call that one? The Rockets now 1st and 10 from the Rangers, and there's a dropped pass. They're at the 13-yard line, 1st and 10, 13 yards from pay dirt. Leading by 4 are the Judson Rockets. First down play is an incomplete pass intended for Wilson out on the right side, and it goes right through his hands.
Almost wondered there for a moment if that would be a backward lateral. It wasn't, but it was a thought that jumped into my mind, and the ball's rolling around on the ground. How crazy would that have been? But it is an incomplete pass.
So on 2nd down, they'll give it – now Chandler keeps it again, and they have done a great job of isolating him, and the Rangers can't get him, and there's another touchdown on a 13-yard run by Mike Chandler.
There's a good fake to DeAnthony Lewis up the middle, and there you said it, Tony. I don't know how much I could add other than the fact that, yes, Chandler did a nice job of making the read, and once he got around the corner and he's got green grass, he's got more than enough burst to get in the end zone.
Humberto Villarreal with the extra point try. This one's blocked, tipped at the line, so it's no good. So 23-13, the Rangers up by, or the Rockets up by 10. 10-13 to go, still a lot of football left. The Rangers will receive the kickoff when we come back after this timeout on the Ranger Network.
Stop at Fisher's Neighborhood Market for anything a Ranger could need. Whether you're heading to work, coming home from school, or just needing a break to grab something tasty, Fisher's Neighborhood Market is your one-stop shop. Fisher's Neighborhood Market is proud to sponsor the Smithson Valley Rangers.
Rangers have some work to do, down 23-13. 10-13 to go in the game. 4th quarter action. Rockets have broke open in a way this second half with a couple of touchdowns. They had one called back in this game, so it's been a tough one. The Rangers down by 10, ready to receive the kickoff.
Let's not overlook that blocked extra point, Tony. Instead of it being an 11-point spread, it's a 10-point spread, and of course that makes things a lot easier if Smithson Valley were to mount the comeback.
And another high arching kick will be fielded by Nutt near sideline. Gets a block in the back, not called. Here's Nutt down the sideline and gets wrestled and thrown down out of bounds. And they looked like he was reaching for his flag, and then he didn't throw it. Is there one at all? No, but the Rangers, there's some laundry out on the field at the 50-yard line. We'll have to see what that is.
And Mizell Miller's involved again.
There's a hold.
Mizell Miller is involved in the pushing and shoving going on. Coach Rodney Williams, palms upraised.
They're going to say it's a hold on the run back, I believe. Yep, that's the call. It's the flags are at midfield, so we still get a lot of the run back because the flags are at midfield, so it'll be taken from the 49 back, I believe.
Yeah, it's a spot foul, but when you're down 10
right
plus minutes to go, every yard counts, especially when you're going up against this Converse Judson defense that for the better part of 2.5 quarters have been really, really good. As advertised.
Gombert with 2 receivers wide to the right. Gives it to Fortone up the middle. The ball comes loose. Chandler Cole there on the spot, though. Rangers will lose a couple of yards. That time the ball punched away from Jacob Fortone. So they lose a yard back to the 38.
Yeah, Fortone was probing for room, right? Trying to keep the play alive, keeping his feet moving, and that's when you get susceptible to that ball being ripped out, punched out, whatever the case may be. Give a lot of credit, though, to Chandler Cole for having his awareness to be around the ball, to jump on it.
Second down and 11 from the 38. Eggleston, the running back beside Gombert. They fake it to him. Now Gombert on the run. Has a man chasing him and tracks him down. That Carmichael, defensive end.
Coach Hill talked about the speed of these defensive ends in particular. Not only can they set the edge, but as we see there, the athletic ability to run people down from behind. I don't think Gombert initially understood that the defender was there, and when he looked back over his shoulder, that's when he was tackled.
So a loss of a yard. Makes it 3rd and 12 from the 37. Gombert, straight drop back, wants to throw down the right side. And it's caught, and it's a completed pass. Is that Douglas again? Cooper Douglas has been the guy that's been loose on the sideline a couple of times tonight. A nice pass play that covers 25 yards to the 37-yard of Judson.
Yeah, and you could not throw a better back shoulder pass than we just saw Gombert delivered. It looked like Converse Judson, they were coming on a delayed blitz. It was Payne who was coming off that left edge and was just on Gombert's doorstep when he delivered the ball. So not only an accurate pass, but did it under duress.
No doubt. Gombert takes the snap, gives it to Fortone, going right off tackle, gets a seam up as he cuts it back, and he'll get 4 or 5 yards up to the 32. Rockets all over him once he gets there, but he got around the corner and got 5 yards to make it 2nd and 5.
Muchagamba did a nice job of block there, and I'm just going to add this, Tony. There's still this after the whistle stuff going on, and I'd really like to see, for the final 8 minutes and 11 seconds of this game, I'd like to see the crew get a handle on it.
And they haven't to this point. I don't know why we'd expect him to do it now. As we go under 8 minutes to play in the game, Rangers down by 10. Gombert to Fortona middle, up the middle, and he had a stride, and then all of a sudden he got popped.
I think one of the guys
I think that's the defensive end, Carmichael, again.
Yeah, also Donnie Moody, the junior linebacker, he brought all 210 pounds into the hole there.
So the Rangers find themselves at 3rd and 5 at the 32. 2 backs, one either side of Gombert. 2 receivers split to the right. We give it to Eggleston, going left, has a seam, has a first down yardage as he's brought down on a nice tackle by the safety, the cornerback Spencer, but not until he gets to the 25, as the blocking scheme that time looked really good, Bill.
Yeah, Fortone was out there, also saw Austin Howell leading outside, but you see Eggleston there and his shiftiness, his ability to make people miss.
7th play of the drive, 1st and 10 from the Rocket 25. 6:55 to go in the game. Gombert. This time it's Fortone coming left, has some room, but he gets tracked down. And that's Carmichael again, as he's starting to be in on every play. The gain is about 2 to the 23-yard line.
I don't know if Fortane, if he's headed to the house, but I do know this. If Carmichael doesn't get out there, it would have been a much bigger gain, as there's another Ranger down on the play. Just outstanding inside-outside pursuit defensively by the Rockets on that play.
So for the second time tonight, one of the offensive linemen is nicked up with 6:35 to go in the game, 6:37 to go in the game. There's timeout on the field. Rangers down by 10 here on the Ranger Network.
Building links between people. Connections are real, finite, tangible experiences, ones you'll never forget. GVTC understands and delivers connections for their customers every day. I'm Luke Gombert, and GVTC has me connected.
6:37 to go in the game. Rangers 2nd down and 8 from the Rocket 23. Gombert hands it off. It's Eggleston coming left. Not a whole lot of room there as he gets tracked down and back down and doesn't get anything. Maybe loses a couple of yards. Carmichael again, one of those, along with 94, Darius Hughes, a backup tackle.
Tony, I'm going to ask you this because you've done the intensive scouting report. What's the range on Joaquin Rodriguez?
About 40.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit more. Gombert want to roll to his left. Has some blocking. Has a man open. It's Eggleston, and he misses him by ever so slight. It would have been a tough play. Eggleston made his break late just inside the 10, and Gombert had to get rid of it. And it just fell just off his fingertips at about the 6-yard line. So here comes Joaquin Rodriguez, and he will attempt what I guess will be about a 42-yard kick.
And I just asked before that play because you do the math. You need a field goal and a touchdown.
Yeah, without a doubt.
In either order.
Right. So you've got to block good enough to keep penetration out of the middle.
Yeah, and you can't have the ball off your foot go too low if you're Rodriguez.
The kick is up. It's in the air. It's close, but doesn't get there. About 2 yards shy of crossing the crossbar. So the Rockets come up with a stop, and the Rangers' field goal try is no good.
I think there, Rodriguez, he sacrificed a little bit off his foot by getting the lift. Because remember the block back in the first half I think that field goal attempt was a 41-yarder. And it was too low off his foot. So, again, he gave up some drive to get the lift. And now the defense, obviously, for Smithson Valley, you have to pitch a shutout from here on out.
And you've almost got to create an opportunity now. From the 25, 1st and 10, 5:52 to go in the game. The Rockets up 23-13. Chandler keeps it, gets stuffed originally, beats one tackle, but then gets dragged down and keeps fighting till the bottom. Seminaro there. Zoig was there. A bunch of Rangers there on the play.
Smithson Valley leads the all-time series 9-5 against Converse Judson, and including that game back in 2017, there have been some electrifying moments in this series.
2 years ago, 44-37, and whoa, what a game that was.
What did Yogi Berra say once upon a time?
It's not over till it's over.
There you go. But you need a stop right here. Pitcher 3 and out.
Yeah, you have to. This time Lewis gets the handoff, and he's loose. Mason Livingston will try to get him out of bounds, and does. What a tremendous effort by Mason Livingston just to get to him, but Lewis carries the ball all the way to the 15.
It's almost a draw look there where Chandler puts it into the gut of DeAnthony Lewis. He pauses for a 1-1000, and then it's a cutback around the right corner, and then it's a foot race. And you saw Sincere McCormick in this game a year ago, Tony, and I know we all think highly of McCormick, but what about DeAnthony Lewis?
I told you before the game, he's a downhill runner. You give him a chance to go, and he'll go. 60 yards on that carry. 59, but we'll call it 60. Blitz. Chandler avoids it. Almost got tripped up, but gets shoved out of bounds at the 13, a gain of 2. Padilla blitzed, chased him out. He got shoved a couple of times and is out of bounds at the 13, a gain of 2.
I think Rodney Williams would have preferred Chandler not go out of bounds when you're up by 10 with 4:56 to go. Again, yeah, he's a high school quarterback, right? That's something he'll learn. He'll be coached up.
Yeah, 2nd and 8, you got to hold him to a field goal here to have any chance. Touchdown makes it 3 scores. Chandler to Lewis, coming right. Around the edge, into the end zone. I'm telling you what, he's got him. He glides, he doesn't run, and he's so stinking fast that he turns the corner and he's exploding into the end zone.
Yeah, and some guys offensively can be really good if you're a half a second late. But guys like Lewis, all you have to do, and there was a Ranger there trying to fill his gap, right? Trying to maintain gap integrity, and was just late by the snap of your fingers, and DeAnthony Lewis makes the Rangers defense pay there.
Villarreal's kick is up and good. It's 30-13. The Rockets have really put it on here in the second half, outscoring the Rangers 20-3 since intermission. There's a timeout on the field. We'll take it with him. 4:51 left in the game on the Ranger Network.
For all of us, it's really important to have our own piece of land. What we're doing here is symbolizing the future of the Browns.
it's really important to have the houses finished before the snow locks us up.
This is going to be a long, hard winter.
An all-new episode of Alaskan Bush People, Sundays at 9 on Discovery.
Watch Discovery. GVTC, Channel 554.
There's 4:51 left in the game. The Rockets now lead it 30-13 as they've done everything they could to put away the Rangers, and they might have just done it. The Rangers 3 scores down with less than 5 minutes to go have an uphill battle of seemingly unbelievable proportions.
One of our keys coming into the game for the Rangers, be assignment sound and tackle well, and for the most part tonight the Rangers have been, but Converse Judson, they're just looking for those 3, 4, 5 plays where you're not perfect and they make you pay. Some teams can't make you pay.
Pop-up kick, fielded, and up the field goes Nutt. One man to beat. Looked like a face mask there. Was that not a face mask, or is it a shoulder pad? Nobody's calling for it. There's no flag, so I just saw things that didn't happen.
Yeah, maybe jersey right under the neck.
Yeah. Out to the 47, Nutt with a 24-yard return. Rangers have it 1st and 10. Have some work to do. It would sure be nice to get another touchdown and make it 30-20. Don't see Muchagumba back out there. Gerald Van Sickle is his backup, and he's out on the field. Give it to Fortone, right side. Gets 4, 5, 6 yards.
Ball came out late.
Yeah.
Nice job there. Leading inside is Ryan Benka. Offensive lineman driving, keeping his feet moving, trying to help his offense, help his running back.
Rangers, 2 backs in the backfield, 2 receivers to the right. Gombert snap is a low one, gives it to Fortone up the middle, bounces off and then gets smacked. Anthony Payne, I believe, brought him back, and then a flag late. I believe it's against the Rangers.
Converse Judson, stars, really good players on the offensive side, but clearly defense as well. And to think that Payne's a sophomore now, a lot of folks listening know Converse Judson. They currently have 2 guys in the NFL on the defensive side. Trey Flowers, a cornerback with the Seattle Seahawks, and Philip Gaines, a cornerback with the Houston Texans. So this is a program like Smithson Valley that's put out a lot of talent over the years.
So they're going to call the Rangers for unsportsmanlike again.
Offsetting?
Offsetting, okay. Okay, now the Judson coaches just go nuts. Goodness sakes, their guys don't do anything wrong.
Is ironical a word?
So it's 2nd down and 5 after the 5-yard gain and the laundry all over the field. Clock is running at 3:50.
Converse Judson, the defense wasn't ready, and Smithson Valley was running up to the line of scrimmage to go, and Eggleston was uncovered. You don't want him to be uncovered.
Well, but why'd we stop it?
I thought there was a timeout call.
Well, the line judge listened to their coach and blew his whistle. Goodness. All right. Play clock runs at 3:45 and continues. Gombert wants to throw, has some pressure to the edge. Howell catches it, but for minimal gain, maybe a yard to the 46.
Good job going down, sliding down to get his arms underneath the football. Not an easy catch at all.
So a 2-yard gain makes it 4th down and 3. Rangers will go for it from the 46.
Eggleston went off.
Okay. Play clock's running, or game clock's running, now near 3 minutes to go. We need to hustle. On 4th down and a 1st down run, that is Fortone. They needed to get to the 43, the line judge. Oh my goodness. That's a horrible spot. A horrible spot.
Still has it though.
He angled in about a half a yard. He was past the 43-yard line. They give it him first down.
Van Sickle and Schaefer, nice job. Big fellas getting up inside, trying to move the pile. Not trying, they did it, and that helped get the first down.
Gombert to throw, looking deep. It is Eggleston, far sideline. And an interference will be the call as the defender went up and kind of jumped onto Eggleston as he deflected it, but he had a hand on him as he went up. And Greg just stood there and said, thank you. So 15 yards on the pass interference.
Well, hold on, the officials are getting together.
Oh, yeah, I mean, the referee might go down and talk him out of that one.
It's the back judge and the side judge had a brief conversation. It was the side judge who threw the flag. He was standing right there.
Well, yeah. Our referee, who cannot run, is walking very hurriedly and makes the signal of pass interference.
There we go.
Ball will be spotted at the 27-yard line.
Now the Rangers need to be up at the line of scrimmage ready to go, right? 2:39 to go, down by 17.
So a big fourth down play. Two first downs in a row. Gombert fakes it to Fortone. Wants to throw, but he's sacked. 1, 2, 3. Rockets get in there on top of him, then walk all over him as they try to get away. Luke up. Ball will be spotted at the 35. A loss of 7. It'll be second down and 17. Game clock under 2.5 to go.
The Rockets defense doesn't need any advantages, but they clearly understand 17-point advantage.
Right.
The Rangers are going to have to put the ball up, kind of pin their ears back and get after the quarterback time.
And we know Larry Hill well enough to know that we don't have a 17-point play, so we're going to be a little more methodical than a hurry up. Now Gombert going long, this time intended for and caught by Greg Eggleston in the end zone against Mizell Miller. The touchdown pass, and there's a flag on the play. Clear back in Ranger territory.
Hold.
They're going to call a hold on the Rangers. But did we hold him back into R47? What is up with that? Oh, he missed it by 15 yards, the throw. Goodness. Okay. So the touchdown's taken off the clock, taken off the scoreboard. So instead of 2nd and 17, it should be, well, by counting procedures, something like 2nd and 27.
I was looking where Gombert got rid of the football, Tony, and everything around him looked clean. I don't know what I don't know. I know it was a heck of a throw and an even better job by Eggleston to get under the ball.
Don't want the score to be any closer. Teachman catches it out on the edge and has a nice gain of about 5 yards. They take a while trying to get him down, finally shove him out of bounds. Then there's some bodies getting close to one another as the Ranger bench didn't like what was going on, but in any event, the clock is stopped as it goes out of bounds. Instead of 2nd and 27, it's now 3rd.
I think it's safe to say that Eric Tietzman
hasn't.
Sorry, I think it's fair to say Eric Tietzman hasn't given up. The fight he showed after catching that ball.
He was not going to be going down anytime soon.
And Coach Larry Hill's going to be disappointed about the loss, but things like that, moments like that, he'll like.
Tietzman now the slot receiver as Eggleston's wide left. They'll throw it right for Douglas, and Gombert's throw is not very close, so it goes incomplete. 5 seconds off the clock. It'll be 4th down.
There haven't been many throws tonight, as we've chronicled. Haven't been many throws tonight in which Luke Gombert hasn't been pretty darn accurate in the passing game.
That one, probably just a little confusion between the receiver and the quarterback.
Well, and a defensive end coming off the left edge, getting there in a hurry.
Like every play. So from the 40-yard line, it's 4th. The line to go is the 18. So 22 is my mathematical formula. Gombert rolls to his left, gets some blocking, now lets it go, gets bumped, and almost tipped up to where Tietzman could get to it. You kind of think if you're a defensive back and it's fourth down, you should just knock it to the ground. Instead, they kind of went for it and almost gave us a chance, but that's over on downs as the Rockets now will be able to run out the clock.
Heck of a fight, heck of an effort by Smithson Valley to come on the road. It's full stands here on the home side of Rutledge Stadium. The number, depending on what ranking you look at, 7th in the state, 9th in the state, 10th in the state, whatever. This is a really good Converse Judson team, and I think Rodney Williams would be the first to say that Smithson Valley has given the Rockets all they wanted and then some tonight.
Indeed. Well, they just have to go down on a knee 3 times, really, but they're going to run a play. Witcher in there to take care of Lewis. Lewis doesn't want to run out of bounds. Now he's going to track back, gets a crackback block. Now he's loose. Left side gets there's a block in the back. What is up with that? And there's the flag. He goes out of bounds, so the clock will stop. What happened to taking a knee? Is that not allowed?
Now there's a unsportsmanlike being called against Converse Judson. One of the offensive linemen yelling at the umpire.
Well, of course, because he's been called for holding a couple of times tonight, and he's yelled at him a couple of times. Why not one more? Why not one more?
Can I just say this, though, again? What about Lewis and his ability to keep plays alive? He was hit by a defensive lineman in the backfield, was able to stay upright, and that ain't it. That's not where it ends. And then he's able to run around and cut back and peel back, and unbelievable.
So this will be block in the back for 10, and then 15 more, I believe. Did we get a signal?
Well, there's a block in the back and the unsportsmanlike. So they're basically going to march this ball back to your front yard in New Braunfels, Tony.
So all the way back to the 18. With 1:18 to go, my math is not great, but I think you can take a knee 3 times and the clock will run out. Is that not what you see?
Well, yes. And I would think Coach Hill wouldn't use one of his
No, he's not going to call a timeout.
Right? Yeah. Some people are going to wake up tomorrow morning or see later tonight 30-13, and the people won't understand how well played, how close this game really was.
They are going to take a knee now. Clock is running, by the way, which after 2 penalties it shouldn't be, but I think everybody wants it to be. Chandler will take the snap, take a knee. Clock will run now at 50 seconds. He'll have to do it one more time, and the game will be over. The Judson Rockets, ranked, as Bill said, anywhere from 7 to 10, have proved their worth tonight, but the Rangers have given them quite a battle. The defensive unit has been remarkable. Offense was effective for a long time. Luke Gombert continues to flourish and grow as a senior. And down on a knee for a second time is Mike Chandler, and that should be the end of it.
And looking ahead, Tony, and you know this far better than I do because you've been with the Rangers all season long, the road game at Converse Judson and the game against Schertz Clemens are over.
Yeah.
You're 2-2 in district if you're the Smithson Valley Rangers, but you have an opportunity still to make 2019 really, really special.
You can indeed. There are 3 games left. We play Steele at home, then at San Marcos, then New Braunfels at home. All 3 are winnable games. 30-13, your final score. We're going to take a timeout and then come back and we'll finish this one up. From Rutledge Stadium, the Judson Rockets 30, the Smithson Valley Rangers 13. Back in a minute on the Ranger Network.
Good things come to those who wait. At QVC, we say better things come now. Get it now. Pay over time. No extra charge with Easy Pay. The best news, you can use it on everything. Yes, everything. All the great brands you love and new products you'll discover. So why wait? It's Easy Pay every day. Now through September 30th. Shop QVC and QVC.com.
So it's what it is. The Rangers, I can't say enough positive about what I saw tonight from many facets of the game, but the Judson Rockets are for real, and they're the best team I've seen this year.
Yeah, first of all, getting back to what you said, just going through the standings, Tony, there are a lot of really good football playing districts in the state of Texas, but 26-6A, I said it, you've got 6 teams that win a combined 15-3 in non-district games. That just tells you how good the football is in this district, and then when they start playing each other, that's when the feathers really start to fly. I was really impressed tonight, yes, by Converse Judson, clearly a top shelf, worthy of their top 10 state ranking, regardless of what poll you look at. But I'll say this about Larry Hill's football team. Came into this environment, got an early lead against Converse Judson, played toe-to-toe with the Rockets all night long. Greg Eggleston, really, really good. Luke Gombert passed the ball far better than I expected, but he passed the ball the way he expected to pass tonight against this really good Converse Judson Rocket football team. So I think there's a lot of success ahead for the Smithson Valley Rangers. You've got to learn from this game, but also take the positives from this matchup with the Rockets, because you're not going to go up against many offenses in all of Texas high school football that are going to have a guy like Chandler at quarterback, Lewis at running back, and oh, by the way, Bailey Davis, a guy we didn't hear much from tonight, and I give credit to Smithson Valley Rangers defense for him being taken out of the game, so to speak.
All right, thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Tony. It's great being reunited with you.
You bet. So that will do it from the Ranger Network. For Bill Colhane, I'm Tony Brubaker saying good night, and God bless. The Rangers fall to the Rockets 30-13.